Okay, we're live, everybody. Welcome to our yearly top 10 best and worst movies of the year. Now it's 2017. 2017 is over in one day. The year has gone by very fast. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. This crazy, who knows how this is going to end, Google Hangout. My name is Max Vincent, Max from Quebec Reviews. I have not seen any movie in 2017. I've actually seen like 60 movies this year that came out this year. I'm still on 2016 films because of work. Anyways, how's your sex life? It doesn't matter. Okay, I am joined by some pretty cool people here. First off, the artist formerly known as Mark Tordai, now known as Mark Turi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, and I just want to let you know, Max, I am not in the witness protection program. The the last name change was very legal, and people are not after me. But I thank you for asking, which you didn't. But I thank you for wondering and being curious enough to take the time to think about my safety, even though you haven't asked, and even though you didn't. It doesn't matter. I'm going to think that. And I'm good, and there will be no controversy on my list this year. Absolutely none.
Tevya just left again. It doesn't matter. Everything's fine. All right. Up next, he has 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. One of his videos hit 2 million views. Holy mother of God. More views than the Infinity War trailer. His name is Sean, the legend, Fournier. How are you?
I'm good right now. It's my first time here. I don't know why my face is not showing on the big screen, but it doesn't matter. And also, I didn't watch a lot of movie either. Sorry. But yeah, I hope my content isn't a controversy.
Justice together, and it was in our life. Okay. Next. This is his first time here as well. I don't even know him. But whatever. His name is Stephen Billings.
Hey, hello everybody. I've me and Dan do a lot of videos together. We on his channel, and I used to regularly do stuff on a channel called Film Club Central. We used to do a lot of stuff there, but Mark has done a show with me on a show I used to do, a news show. So yeah, I mean, I love movies, guys. I try to see as much as I can, and hopefully we'll have some cool discussions about some of these great movies and some bad movies that came out this year. So,
indeed. All right, and up next, Dan Skip Allen. How are you doing, Dan? Long time no see.
Yeah, Max. You know, you're one of my fun people that I follow on social media. You know, you do not make it lighthearted. It's pretty funny. You make a lot of interesting things in social media. I know you do a lot of what's it called that you do, Steven? You and Mark also do it. What's it called? Stardust. You guys do a lot of the Stardust and stuff. I'm following a lot of you guys on social media, so I'm just glad I can help you out. But this is not a final list for me. This is a tentative list. Tentative. I hope you guys know what that word means.
No. I wanted to introduce last but certainly not least, he is the greatest movie critic on the face of the planet. No movie critic is better than him, not even Lights Camera Jackson, but he left. So again, he left like for the 5th time. His name is Tevya Smolka. Right now you see his microphone.
Oh, that's nice. He's a very quiet man.
He's a very quiet man. He's invisible. We can't even see him. Maybe we'll be able to hear him this time. Who knows? Oh, there he is.
Don't get him talking. He'll never stop.
All right, Tevya.
Fucking headsets.
Yeah. All right, Tevya. How are you doing?
Good. I really like the movie, review comics, etc. And I'm gonna do my top about some words from 2017, and I can't wait to talk about the movie because.
All right, just
2017 been a weird year for movies.
Weird year. 2016 was a weirder year.
That's true. Well, wait. This movie is all mentioned, and this movie is really good, underrated.
All right, we'll talk about that later. So just about All right, someone else will be joining. I cannot pronounce his last name, but it starts with Mark. I think it's Mark Krozik, something like that. You might know him from We Live film, stuff like that. So yeah, so this is how it's gonna go down. We'll each be giving our top 10 best and worst movies of 2017. We'll be starting with the best movies, and then we'll be going to the dumping grounds, the worst movies.
The worst movies. Oh boy, there were a lot this year.
And I'm going to spoil my number one best movie of 2017 is the Emoji Movie. So just
get off the internet, Max.
Hey, Mark.
Hello.
Saying, oh hi, Mark. Just saying. my number one movie of 2017 is the Emoji Movie. Okay. So, anyways, anyway, how is your sex life? Okay, I'm gonna make a lot of The Room references, whatever.
Yeah. Especially for the movie that came out this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Don't spoil your top number one movie of the year, Max.
It's the Emoji Movie. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, Steven wanted to go first with his top 10 best of 2017, so we're gonna let him go first.
Sure. Are we doing any honorable mentions? Are we doing any of that?
Yes, you can do that if you want to.
Sure. I'll go through some honorable mentions quickly. I'll start with one of the most controversial movies of the year, Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Oh boy.
I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it took a lot of chances. Not everything was great. I'll say it does have its flaws, but ultimately, my experience in the theater was what had to be. It made it into my top 15 because my experience in the theater was insane. You know, me and a few other friends, we had a private screening, and we were all going crazy in the theater. And it just, that's the stuff I go to the movies for, you know, to be able to scream at the screen and have fun and things that happen in this movie were just crazy. But that's one of my honorable mentions. You got the movie It, Andy Muschietti, the adaptation, you know, of the Stephen King novel. I thought this was a really great adaptation. I loved Bill Skarsgård's performance, and the kids all had really great chemistry. Yeah. What did you guys? Anybody? Am I just going through them, or are you guys going to chime in? Or
just go through them, if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
I can chime into one because I seen it. It was amazing. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's really good. And my 13 is Stronger, directed by David Gordon Green, with Jake Gyllenhaal. I thought, once again, Jake Gyllenhaal gives a great performance, and probably will not get any recognition for it.
Because they call me all my idiots.
Yeah, and this was a fantastic movie. I loved how it questioned about how, somebody that is looked at as a hero and how he doesn't look at himself as a hero and how he deals with that. I thought that was really interesting. And going to number 12 is a movie called Raw, which is a very insane movie about this girl who is a vegetarian, goes to this veterinary school, and then gets her first taste of meat, and then kind of becomes a cannibal. It's really insane. You can check it out on Netflix, but it's a really insane movie, and it's just something really different and original. I thought it was really, really fun. And then to my number 11, The Big Sick. I thought this was a really good, romantic comedy. A lot of times they become very formulaic, but this movie took it in different directions. I think this is one of the best ones since maybe 500 Days of Summer, where it really, subverts some of the ideas about that genre. But all right, going into my top 10, I'm going with the one we've already referenced a lot, The Disaster Artist.
Yep.
I love The Disaster Artist. I am a big fan of The Room. I go to the theater to see The Room and throw spoons at the screen and stuff like that. And of course, this is the making of that movie with Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero, which I actually got to meet Greg Sestero in person recently when they showed the new movie that him and Tommy Wiseau did together called Best Friends, which was really cool, which was really good. And he was a really nice guy. He was really cool. And The Disaster Artist, man, is just, it's everything I wanted it to be. It, it doesn't really give a lot more to what we already know. If you're a fan of The Room and you know about Tommy Wiseau, it doesn't give us anything new per se, but James Franco realizes Tommy Wiseau really well. It's one of the best performances to me of the year, and
I agree.
It was just another great experience for me at the theater. So I don't know if you guys want to talk about it or not, or am I just?
I agree with you there because that's how it's on my list, which I'll set up for somebody's going to but let's just say I agree with you. It was a good biopic, and James Franco, he killed it at Tommy Wiseau because, damn, I did not see James Franco. I saw Tommy Wiseau, and this movie surprised the hell out of me because I didn't know what to expect from this movie because I knew about The Room. I never saw The Room myself because The Room was just that bad. But this biopic, I didn't give me sense to watch The Room itself, which I'm still never going to watch, but this biopic was perfect. And even though I never read the book, like, this actually was really great, interesting. Especially from a filming standpoint and from a story perspective.
All right, so you want me to just keep going through the list?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. My number 9 is Logan. James Mangold. I thought this was a great last entry. Yes, awesome. Great last entry for Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He really just puts his all into it, and it's one of them things that I thought about in my head, and it finally came true of like a Western comic book movie. Wolverine just finally getting to see Wolverine in all his glory, just cutting up guys and saying the F word a lot, which was great. Just Hugh Jackman saying fuck all the time, which is fantastic.
Yep.
I just really love that movie. It was a great ending. And of course, X-23 also, she was fantastic.
Yeah, well,
jumping all over the place, killing dudes. My number 8, this is actually one I just recently watched because it was suggested by a friend of ours, Andrew Cabral. And I had to watch this movie because apparently it was that good. And I had to put it on the list because it was that good. And it's called Columbus. And it's one you can watch it on Amazon. And it's a very good movie. It's a movie about these two people, these two kind of like people that just randomly cross each other in this town of Columbus, Ohio, and or Columbus, Iowa. And you got John Cho, who is known for being in Harold and Kumar, does this very good dramatic performance where his father, who's an architect, is now kind of like in the hospital. He's critical, and they don't really have a great relationship. And then you have this girl played by Haley Lou Richardson, who was in Edge of 17 last year. She has this hard relationship with her mother, who is in the hospital also for something else, and they kind of bond over their mutual problems that they have. And at the same time, they're really interested in architecture, and there's a lot of symbolism going in there. It's a really mellow, emotional movie, but it's like so beautiful, and it's like a first time movie for this guy named Kogenaga. It's his first movie, and it's a beautiful movie. And I was so just stunned by how good it was and how impactful the themes were and everything. And I just really enjoyed this movie. And like I said, it's on Amazon. You can go rent it. It's really awesome.
nice.
My number 7 is The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro.
Awesome.
And it's Guillermo at his best. Monsters. Practical effects.
Love story.
A love story. A gothic romance, as he likes to say a lot.
Yep.
Especially with Crimson's Peak.
You were speaking Russian, Bob.
Can I just
Yeah.
talk about The Shape of Water? This
What-
more of a gothic romance than Crimson Peak was.
I'd say so too. Yeah.
I say about that. I agree 100%. Good movie with.
Yeah. But it was just Sally Hawkins, her performance fantastic.
Oscar.
Oscar worthy, definitely.
Oscar worthy. If that kind of nominated for it, I'll be pissed off because
It's like everybody's saying Saoirse Ronan. I fuck her. Okay.
yeah, forget that.
Oscar, and it's gonna be her year. Oh my fucking god.
We see that.
I mean, I like Saoirse Ronan too, but yeah, I would agree. Sally Hawkins in this movie had a lot more going on there for me.
Yep.
And
the time someone new to get nominated.
well, I mean, yeah, but Saoirse Ronan, she's good. I mean, when you're good, you're good. I mean, I can't deny that. But I mean, yeah, this movie was just fantastic. It has a very satisfying ending. Of course, Michael Shannon's fantastic. He's always great.
You were speaking Russian, Bob.
But Also, going into my number 6 is one that I hope really gets a lot of attention at the Academy Awards, and that's Get Out.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
By Jordan Peele.
Damn.
This is a very, of course, relevant film, very, very socially relevant film, and I thought it was once again another debut film from somebody that's just hit on a lot of levels, man. I mean, it's funny at times, it can be thrilling at times, it could be scary at times, and then it has this great message, and he almost creates a new genre, a social thriller that you don't really see a lot anymore, or you don't see at all. And it's just, I'm glad that we got a new fresh voice, and that people really, liked it, and hopefully we'll see a lot more from Jordan Peele doing a lot more of these edgy movies that people get into, because the movie has a lot of messages that need to be talked about, and that's why I had to be on my list, because it was once again another movie that just stuck with me. The movie came out near the beginning of the year, and still we're talking about it today. So yeah, it's definitely a worthwhile watch. My number 5 is a movie called Good Time. The Safdie brothers. You got Robert Pattinson as the main character, and this movie was a movie I didn't have any expectations for when I went in, but when I left, I was like, what the hell did I just see? Like this acid trip of just crazy, the movie's called Good Time, and I had to think about, why is this movie called Good Time? And the only thing I can come up with is that it's almost satirical. Everything in this movie is not really a good time. Like it's like you're seeing somebody at the low of their lows. Somebody that obviously, the movie's about love to an extent, but this guy says he loves his brother, but he gets him in trouble, and puts him in harm's way. And it's like, it's this really gritty, just crazy acid trip of a movie. And it's visually stunning. And Robert Pattinson probably gives his best performance. And it's one of the movies I kind of watched a few times now, and I can't help but go back and watch it just to see if there's something I've missed. And it's just a fascinating movie to watch. And
so the movie was a good time.
I would say it's a good time.
Yeah,
at the theater, like
Can I
pretty good.
Good time. Can I add something about
what's
good
that?
Time? Did you talk about a lot of it was guerrilla filmmaking? I was listening.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's shot handheld. There's a lot of handheld. There's a lot of close-ups. I know it's got really, it's one of them. It's also it's shot in New York. So it's this New York realism going on. It's just something you haven't seen since like early Scorsese, it's really, really cool. I really liked it.
Did it remind you, in your opinion, I'm just asking, I know you liked it a lot and I really enjoyed it as well, of Slacker from Linklater?
Kind of in the sense of its randomness, in the sense of the events that happen in the movie. Of course, there's not as many characters. Slacker kind of just goes from one character to another character to another character and never really stays with anybody. But there's a through line there, of course. But in this movie, Robert Pattinson, you're just following Robert Pattinson through his trail of just fucking shit up, just making things worse and worse for himself.
So basically self-destruction, basically.
Yeah, very self-destructive, and that's kind of that's why I say the movie, in a sense, its title is like kind of satirical, because it says it's good time, but it's not real. I mean, like, it's not a good time. Nothing good. Yeah. There's no good time in this movie. But going into my number 4 is a movie called 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I love this movie. Martin McDonagh has made 3 really great movies with In Bruges, 7 Psychopaths, and now this one. This being, I think, his most ambitious because of the themes. I think the themes really jump into stuff about our relationship with law enforcement, and especially in the United States. But how they abuse one side abuses power. But it doesn't really take one side over the other, because even with Frances McDormand's character, she goes over the line too at points in the movie. And it's a good commentary about that stuff. And other than that, just the performances with Frances McDormand, Sam Rockwell is one of them actors that I just wish somebody would give him an award. Like, he's just, every time he's in something, if I see his name in the cast listing, I'm like, I'm seeing that movie. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it was a fucking Inspector Gadget remake. If he's in it, I'm seeing it. He's just that good. And Yeah. It's but
Inspector Gadget movie, Steven.
what's that?
You already made an Inspector Gadget.
They made 2 of them.
Well, yeah, but I said they remake everything. If they get Sam Rockwell to play Inspector Gadget, I will see it.
If they remade Inspector Gadget, that was one remake I'd be fine with because it would have been not good to begin with.
I don't know that I would really want an Inspector Gadget remake, but I'm just saying I'd see anything with Sam Rockwell.
I got you.
Would you see Sam Rockwell as Tommy Wiseau?
I bet you he could do pretty good. You know what? He might be a better Mark. You know, maybe he'd be. I don't know.
Yeah. No one can top Tommy Wiseau or James Franco.
James Franco was pretty perfect.
Yeah.
Oscar James Franco.
But apparently Johnny Depp would have been better, according to Tommy Wiseau. Johnny Depp was the first choice. But I don't think so either. But going on to my number 3 is a movie that is, I think, one of the most unique movies of the year, and it's called A Ghost Story.
The 24 movie. I heard people divide on this movie.
Yeah, this movie is definitely not for everybody. I'll say that. It's definitely not everybody can't enjoy this movie. But I bought this movie blindly, and I'd heard that it was good. So I bought it. I watched it at home. And the whole time, I'm just like glued to the screen because it's so fascinating. It's almost like a silent film. You know, it's very much you just watch this dude with a ghost sheet on him for an hour and a half. And it's like, but of course, it's way more than that. It's a movie about grieving. It's about, you know, love and loss and it just, God, it's just such an emotional ride. It really is. It's just thinking about it. I'm just like, I kind of want to go watch it right now. Cause it's so interesting. And the ending is really fantastic. And it's just, to me, just give it a chance, you know, like, and it's got an aspect ratio that you don't see. That's like very much like almost letterbox. It's like watching it through a photograph, you know,
or watching widescreen on DVD.
I mean, I don't know that they have any other way of watching it.
Wait, not DVD. What am I saying? From VHS. My bad.
Okay. But yeah, to me, it was one of it's the most unique movie of the year for me. And I just had to put it on my list because of the effect it had on me. But,
are you going to eat pie now after?
I did, after I watched it, I did have like a chocolate pie in my fridge and I literally just kind of sat there as the credits rolled and just ate it and actually videoed myself doing it too. So I'll post that online after. I'll get around to that. But, my number 2 is one that I did not think it was going to be. I was skeptical about how good this movie could be, but it was one of the best experiences at the theaters I had all year, and that was Blade Runner 2049.
Yes!
Yes! That's a
Thank
good
you.
one.
You.
Yeah, Blade Runner 2049. You can say what you want about the plot or anything like that. Most visually stunning movie of the year.
I agree.
In the sense of cinematography, what Denis Villeneuve accomplished with this movie, still being able to have the tone and the essence of the original Blade Runner still there, and creating a story that could not just borrowing from the original, but is continuing the story, continuing the themes, and expanding on the themes. And I thought Ryan Gosling did a fantastic job. I thought just in the ending. I love the ending of that film too.
Perfect. Like, damn,
yeah, it was perfect for me too. And it's a beautiful movie. Denis is one of these special filmmakers we have these days that I can't wait to see what he does next. Every time he's got something new coming out, I got to see it.
But another level, 2019 signed up, but it's Harrison Ford at Decker. Harrison Ford Decker, my man, it's perfect. It looks like he might not miss a beat. That made me happy because I was worried that Harrison Ford was not going to give a shit, but no, he gave a shit in this movie, and that made me happy because thank you, Harrison, for giving me a great performance. And I'm going to start with I'm going to start with someone mentions.
I really liked Harrison Ford in it, but he was my main problem with it. It's not really it's more of a nitpick, but he was barely in it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
He was in it for like I watched it again a couple days ago. He's in it for like 35 minutes. Something like that.
If that really. I mean, he's really not in the movie that much. He plays very much a secondary to Ryan Gosling in the film. But yeah, I mean, it's a movie that I went back and saw multiple times in the theaters. That's how much I liked it. So when a movie can get me to go pay for it multiple times, and it's a must. But getting to my number one, this is one it's kind of, since it came out, it's kind of stayed at number one for me, because it was such. I felt like the movie was such a risk, and this filmmaker continues to at his position, he continues to take risks. And my number one is Dunkirk.
Oh,
nice.
From Christopher Nolan. I just, after I saw this for the first time, I was like, man, Christopher Nolan, the guy that made the Batman movies, that made these very popular movies. He's become a very popular director in the zeitgeist. Everybody knows Christopher Nolan. Goes and does a World War II movie that's not like every other World War II movie. It's a movie that's more about the experience of war and not about being emotionally attached to any certain character. Sure, we care for the characters, but
we have to care about the actual war itself.
It's more about experiencing war itself and about that thing itself, and just how he shot this movie and how the sound plays a lot more. The sound is very important in this movie, how much that matters. And I just think that we're lucky to have a filmmaker in that position that can make movies for that much money, to make a movie like that.
And I think about Dunkirk, and then trying to do it, but and think about Dunkirk, and I'll tell you that even though the first time I watched that, I didn't like it. It does kind of make sense, because war itself is not like a hero story. No, war itself is not pretty. It's dirty, grimy, gritty, and plus, unlike some other war movies, scrap them more a bit of Hollywoodized war movies. But that makes a note in there. I was over there. There's no Shatner. This movie did it the real war, and plus the one thing I really don't think, even though you don't get to see any of the enemies, you don't get to see any of the Nazis.
Yeah, it's got a very unique, very unique point of view, and of course Nolan likes to play with time. He tells the story in a very interesting, different way, and I like that the movie. To me, it had a lot of almost foreign film, a lot of foreign film aspects to it, where like the movie starts off with not a lot of talking, a lot of just things done through visuals, and to me, it was a masterful movie. And Christopher Nolan continues to just do great films. You can call me a Nolan fanboy all you want. I just think he does. He makes good films, and he doesn't take the audience for granted. He makes thoughtful films for a mass audience, and we should have a little bit more appreciation for that than some people do. You know what I mean? Like, most people are throwing garbage at us that have that much rain.
Oh dear God!
Somebody like Michael Bay has all this money to play with when he makes garbage.
But you say that Dunker sequel?
Michael Bay. Michael Bay is the greatest director in the history.
Michael Bay. I will say
Max,
Michael Bay's made a couple good movies. He's made a couple good movies.
The Rock was fantastic.
I mean,
The Rock was good.
The Rock is great. I love Armageddon.
Awesome.
I love Armageddon.
But
He hasn't made a good movie since them days. So
Armageddon, I found a good pleasure. It's not that bad. I've seen worse.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
but that's my list, and it could change within the next month. I'm sure I'm going to probably do a show with Dan here in the middle of January, where my list might change. It might not. So
nice,
cool.
The question is, did you see Dunkirk in IMAX?
I did. I went and actually saw it in the 70mm IMAX.
I wish I saw IMAX. Never got chance.
It was part of that. That's part of what it is. I mean, when he says you need to see on the biggest screen possible, it really matters. And the sound was the thing. Was when the bombs would hit, you could feel it in your chest. Like I could feel it in my chest. That's how big the sound was, and it still stays with me. I got it on 4K right now. And I popped it in when I got it, and it's amazing. It looks amazing on 4K. So, I mean, yeah.
Nice.
All right. So up next will be Tevye Smolka, because he might take 45 minutes. Please don't.
Roll.
We have stopwatches.
Okay. Time this. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Before I give my Nintendo honorable mentions, and these will be quick and fast. All right. Honorable mentions. I'll mention Jethro Dark, a great anime movie and one of the best anime movies all year, and because my Matt Line content is perfect. Since that Jews contract, okay sequel to I'll get Jews contract. Jews contract is a good sequel, but personally, I'd rather them adapt the actual story than try to do their own weird, twisted. But you know what? It was a good movie. Animal the Creation, good horror movie, and way better prequel than the actual Animal movie itself.
Wait, Annabelle Creation?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Okay.
I'm as shocked as you because damn.
It's not bad. It's definitely better than the first one. I can tell you that.
I was gonna say, compared to the first one, Annabelle Creation is leaps and bounds. At least it had an interesting story.
It's the Citizen Kane. That's how far ahead it is.
out of all the ones that take place in that universe, it's one of the better ones, I will say.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not saying it's a great movie either, but out of that bulk, I actually enjoyed it a hell of a lot more than I thought I was going to, and partly because it was a period piece, and partly because the kids that they got for that film were actually actors. They could actually act. They weren't annoying or delivering cardboard lines.
Bad child actors.
Yeah.
It's actually perfect. I agree 100% because that movie did surprise me. What the album is it? Next album is Batman vs Harley Quinn. Hey, the budget comedy movie.
Harley Quinn? That movie sucked, man.
No. Here's it. It's on Overment. It's not on. I actually like that movie. I enjoyed it. Now,
so bad.
Is it,
oh my God.
No, is it a perfect Batman movie? No. Far from it. But you know what? It was a decent in comedy, and I enjoyed myself in the theater. And it was a fun time. Alright, next on my is Split, a Jerry movie that actually a good Shyamalan movie that actually did a good twist that I did not see coming. And okay, spoiler if you've not seen Split yet.
No spoilers.
Fine.
Don't fucking dare, man. I have not seen the movie yet.
By the way, Bruce Willis, he's dead at the end of Sixth Sense.
Yes.
Whoa.
No, but don't.
You're tearing me apart, Mark.
Don't fucking say
What I do.
Well, anyway,
I will
Right,
come down to the fucking
right.
house and smack you with a pillow if you fucking say it.
anyway, oh yeah, like Split might be with a huge surprise because I thought the movie was gonna suck. Because M. Night Shyamalan had a really bad track record, but nope, he surprised me. This movie was pretty good, and the way it connects to a certain other movie, I won't get spoilers, but to say it was really surprising. That's all I'm saying. This movie was good. I highly recommend it. All right, next element, look at a Batman movie. A great spin-off from the Lego movie, and that's a great Batman movie, and it was really funny. All jokes are great, but it takes the whole 60 Batman part, but doesn't it actually kind of take the but then actually a lot better. Well, it's kind of coming a Lego movie and its own humor, and I think it was great. Lego movie. Next I'm mentioning is another movie I saw in theaters. Resident Evil Vendetta. A good Resident Evil movie out there adapt the game story that is perfect. The movie takes place after RE6. Okay, no, I'm talking about this movie actually was shown in theaters. I just see it, and unlike the live action movie, this movie is good. And as a fan, each character, Chris Redfield, Leon Kennedy, and Rebecca Chambers, you love this movie. Part of dancing? Screw you, because it's way better than the live action stuff. Anyways, what was I? Oh yeah, then I'm in Shape of Water, a great Guillermo del Toro movie. What we were talking about to say. Next, I'm in Power Rangers, a very underrated movie that might be not bombed. I love Power Rangers. Like this was a great movie. It's not the best movie in the world, but you know, it was a good movie. It's a fan of Power Rangers movie who would love the original series. You love this movie. It's probably a 90 movie, yeah, and I'm pointing out this movie got a sequel. That's not gonna happen. Alright. Then I'm in Paul Ragnarok. It's Hela Vs. 4 and Loki. And Hulk. What I did to say. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. A great sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy. I love that movie. And it might have been Ego the Great, the villain. For Russell. No, Russell Crowe. I'm saying. Who played Ego? I forget.
What did you say?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah, that's a great movie. I think it has the best villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not even joking with that.
I think him and Hela, and now Aaron Key and Vulture might be perfect. Which I'll get the Vulture with my top 10. Not only by Two-Face, a great final performance by Adam West, and a great final 60 Batman movie by Adam West. Because this movie was perfect, and the way they did it with Wayne Shot and Two-Face, awesome.
Okay.
But I love this movie, and did a great final performance by Adam West as Batman.
Okay.
Like enjoy your old chum. And Nick Offerman, Get Out. Wow, one of the best acting horror movies I've seen all year. Like this movie disappointed me. I love the movie, and Sam Peel, I know what you're doing, but keep doing what you're doing. You did it perfect. Nick Offerman with Molly's Game. One of the best biopics I saw all year. This movie surprised me. There's no flaws. I love this movie. Nick Offerman is Atomic Blonde. A great action movie like John Wick, but John Fallon at the Blonde kicks ass. I love this movie. Some people claim the story convoluted. That's true, but that's what any spy movie. But you know what? It was a great period piece movie, a great action movie, and a great revenge movie at the same time. I love Atomic Blonde, and then John Fallon did an awesome movie. I'm still hoping in John Chapter 3 that she played the main villain. That would be awesome. See, like Joey and Charlie Grant will try to kill each other. All the praise for the crossover. There you go. Next one mention is It 2017. I had to say my number 6 because I just remember movie I really love. But I love It. What did it say? It's a great remake. And we talk about the movie, so I'll move on. And it's perfect. Next one, It Comes at Night. A very fun indie movie that I think it creates out of a lot of people. But you know what? Screw it. I do like this movie. It's not the... Yeah, some people going that... nothing happens in the first 3 acts. That's because of attention building, you morons. Ugh.
Well, it's an interesting. It's one I have to go back and watch again because I did like the movie. It's a movie about what fear does to people and how it makes people do crazy things. And I think it's an interesting movie. It does have a little bit of maybe a weak ending, but other than that, I like the movie a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you there. All right, my honorable mention is Dunkirk.
Yes.
Like, what did you say? It's a great war movie, and then you have to say. Anyways.
Okay. Now for the real list.
What, dude? My body's about to die, so I need to get my charger.
Okay.
And now for the intermission. Please go to your lobby. Or your local theater by buying popcorn. Sodas are on for $3.99.
Wait.
And if you buy any hot dog and don't die from food poisoning, you'll get the second one for free.
Oh, sparkling ice. It's good. It's refreshing.
I'm drinking iced tea with no alcohol.
Nutriprint. It's small, orange.
Okay, and now for the real list.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're back from commercial. Okay.
Yep. Cool.
Go ahead, Tanya.
All right, fast. What are we? Oh yeah, number 10. My number 10, February 2017 is my ultimate favorite character because I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man ultimate character, and after suffering from 3 horrible bad movies, Spider-Man 3, Chasm 1, and oh god, Chasm 2. Kill me,
you think Spider-Man 2 was the best one?
In your dreams.
What are you talking about? You got Jamie Foxx playing the Riddler from Batman Forever, playing Electro. So I mean, it's the best.
I really love that movie.
It's my birthday, Spider-Man. It's my birthday.
You don't remember me?
My birthday.
Wait, what's the Rapture and Bat? I don't know. After seeing Spider-Man Private Tom in Civil War, I'm looking forward to his solo movie. And his solo movie did not disappoint. My number is Spider-Man Homecoming. Wow. one of the best Spider movies we got in decades. Because after 330, we finally got good movie by Marvel Studios, and Sony and there did not touch the movie at all. It was more like Ken Feige, Tom Holland, and I put Michael Keaton as Vulture. Okay, a little backstory, because probably I didn't care about Vulture now in the actual comics or in but Michael Keaton's Vulture, he made Vulture actually interesting. I can't believe I'm saying this. Vulture, it was a great villain, and that's shocking me that I didn't care about Vulture in the comics or in media, even Protector Spider-Man. But the Protector Spider-Man now all over AMC without the bananas the day I die. Vulture not favorite, but Michael Keaton's Vulture was perfect, and I cannot wait for Homecoming 2 because the way this movie ends does sell a lot of engines out. Put another out of the movie about the ending is that we find out many people by Spider-Man, which I'm begging for that time in decades, and find out and that made me happy. And what did it say? It's a great movie. It's a good Spider-Man with me. We'll watch this movie. All right, that's my number 10. Topic number 9. Number 9 is the Disaster Artist.
Yes.
I remember before, as Steve mentioned before, that's how we want to get biopics, and I agree. James Franco killed that time or so. You can bring out Mark was great. It was a great biopic about how this movie was being made. And for what he said, the room was a great, but that's the point. It's a great biopic, and I hope we James Franco nominated for an Oscar. Alright. James Franco did great argument. Oh, the book. Nice. Anyways, what was that? Right. Point is a great biopic minute. Alright. That's my number 8. My number 8 top 10 best movie 2017 is The Blade Runner 2049. A very underrated movie that deserves actually justice. That should never have bombed. Like, Hollywood, why do people see one bad movie? I want Blade Runner to succeed. By the way, bombing at bullshit reasons. Anyway. Right. Why got us in perfect Blade Runner? Not as K. Shit, my bad. Harry Ford great, Decker, visual amazing, the story was great, the line was great, everybody was perfect. As a fan with the Blade Runner series, watch this movie, it's great. Oh, FYI, it's what the 4 short film we got. Yeah,
yes, the anime one is the best one.
Yeah, we have the anime one, I forget about the main villain.
Okay. You can go ahead, Tevye. Number 7.
Yeah, number 7. My number 7, Deadpool 2020 is Coco.
Coco.
Pixar has knocked out of the park again. Like after Cars 3, which I did not see, thank God. Hey, that rhymes. Like, thank God I did not see Cars 3. Cars 3 I heard was horrible. I didn't care about Cars 3 at all. But Coco, damn. This movie hit everything I ever wanted for Pixar because it took the music aspect and did great. It told a great story with the Spanish culture. It did Marco Twitter, I not see coming with the whole wait,
don't spoil.
Oh. Yeah, my bad. Wait.
Still in theaters, man. Don't spoil.
My bad. Wait. Main character was great, the story was great, the language, everybody was perfect, and Van Anderson, watch this movie. Oh, the music was great too. I heard the music.
I will say, I just want to throw it in there just as a controversial opinion because we got to get some controversy in here. I was one of the ones that thought this movie was more okay than great. I know. I'm sorry.
Wait.
I'm willing to watch this movie again because maybe I was just having a bad night or I was tired. But I looked at when I watched the movie. I looked at it. It had a lot of the same, which a lot of Disney movies do this. A lot of the same beats as previous Pixar movies, going down to like somebody that looks up to somebody else and sees them on TV and sees them doing something. We've seen that in other Pixar movies.
Yeah.
And then also, I feel like the movie really leans on its sentimentality and its culture, maybe a little bit too hard. Like it's it's wanting it's you know, because the way the world is today, everybody wants us to be more diverse, which is a great thing. And I think it was leaning into that a lot, you know, and I think that's where it covers. The story was just okay for me. It wasn't a story I hadn't seen before, but it was visually stunning. So, you know,
I've seen this movie twice. I sat through that stupid Frozen short film.
Oh yeah, the Frozen short. Yeah,
you know what? That could have ruined the reason I didn't like it.
I'm going to talk about it later.
I agree with that. That Frozen short unnecessary. 30 minutes. Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, hold on. But I think that, to be honest, Coco is one of the best animated movies to have come out in at least 5 years. I think
5 years.
I am not even kidding. I've seen this movie twice. It's amazing. Like, I cannot believe how amazing it is. And to have you say that it's okay, all right, yeah, it does have the same beats as as many Pixar movies, but god damn it, every fucking time it makes me cry like a little kid.
Yeah. I think this movie and point out Inside Out were one of the best movies that came out of Pixar because Cars 3 was a failure, which I don't care about.
Cars 3 wasn't bad, man. It was okay. It was good. It was like, it wasn't bad.
It was better than Cars 2?
Yeah, definitely better than Cars 3. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was
well, you told us your number one movie was Emoji Movie, so you're kind of contradicting yourself.
Joke.
Well, like, point is, Coco is amazing, and it's one of the best Pixar. Please keep the quality up for Incredible 2, because I have higher than Incredible 2, because I want Incredible to be great. My episode of High movie, I wanted to be a Incredible sequel for years. 15 years, I think. Damn time for us. Anyways, that's my number 7. Not my number 6. Number 6 was originally 8 when 2017, but I changed it to, well, a good movie that did come out this year, and it's one of the best movies I saw all year, one of the best cartoon movies I saw all year, and one of the best, not only particularly my heist movie, but one of the best music movies I saw all year. And Baby Driver.
Yes.
Kind of one of the best movies I saw all year, but even if you remember Sony, you remember Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright, he had not missed a beat. This movie was perfect.
Oh,
the soundtrack was great. The story was great. The writing was great. Can't spend you. Despite the whole kind of which we don't want to talk about that. Because it was great. I don't want to main tennis. The Octopus Baby was great. The movie was be perfect. All right. I love this movie. I recommend you see it. Especially if I go right. Well, anyways. That's my number 6 and my number 5. My number 5 best movie 2017 is War for the Planet of the Apes.
It was alright.
What? Like this was a great finale to see that. A great finale to see the story. A great finale to
Apes.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I had to see this movie twice because the first time I fell asleep halfway through, and then I saw it again, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's good, but whatever, it's good.
Yeah, well,
for the people that loved it, I just
that connect to Dawn. It was interesting, especially with Woody Harrelson at the Colonel. Woody Harrelson, damn, he actually made it before. Like, and you have to understand Woody Harrelson's like philosophy, even though he's completely insane. But since I know he does gotta make a good point. Because humanity made this virus and the virus weapon out, so it's kind of a. And she's trying to make peace, but she just want to kill right the Colonel right now. I blame him. He's freaking nuts. But I love this movie, and I am praying to God Disney bought Fox. They don't screw this franchise up. Disney, whoever God, don't screw up Planet 8. Like, they're perfect, and I'm praying to God that they end the trilogy. Beginning, middle, end. I love this movie, and this movie is my ultimate favorite movie, one of my ultimate favorite in 2017. Especially Planet 8 fan, like myself. Anyways, that's my number 6. Number 5. Time for number 4. My number 4 best movie 2017 is a DC movie.
Don't fucking say Justice League because I'm gonna.
No chance. Yeah. Right. Only Justice League was a complete mess up a turn in. It pissed me off. Where the hell is it?
I know. I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad 2.
In your dreams.
Is it my dream? Is it Wonder Woman?
Yeah, probably
Yep.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman.
Wonder
was
Woman.
great.
Damn it, downstairs. Shit. Yeah, whatever. I'll get the boy later.
Yeah.
Alright, Wonder Woman. This is one of the best DC movies I saw. Yeah, but this movie proved you know that we could have a good female-led superhero movie and prove to the world that hey, DC did not make bad movies. And guess what? It's actually great. Probably can knock it out of the park at the projected movie. Gal Gadot's great. Wonder Woman. The story was great. It's like World War One, which World War One I could talk about a lot. And I'm happy the movie saying World War One because point in the present day, as much as I love the Ant-Man movie, I have to say I think this movie did a lot more better than the Ant-Man movie. No, I love the Ant-Man movie. The Ant-Man movie was awesome, perfect. But this movie, it's actually really great. But they make each other actually great. We see each other in the Ant-Man movie. He's kind of okay. Well, he's kind of an asshole. But in this movie, they make each other actually likable. That made me happy. Like the villains like Dr. Poison and Ares and Luminoid. I think they played fine with the villain. I think they were great. Sure, they're not like amazing, but who cares? It's about World War One. That's the point. Like they're not good at bad guys. It's pretty good well in the middle. That's the movie. It's like World War One is a very different war. It's not like World War Two, which that was just perfect. What did I say? Good job, DC. Good job.
Yeah.
That is great, but you know what? I don't blame him. I blame more big one like bullshit.
Good job, Joss Whedon, on screwing a Justice League.
No, I don't blame Joss Whedon. I blame more Warren was just screwing up that movie up. Joss Whedon just was brought it.
Anyways, continue. Tim.
Anyway, so one was great. I went to see the movie. Anyways, that's my number 4. Time my number 3.
Okay.
My number 3 best movie 2017 is a great event movie, a great Hitman movie.
Yes.
What about John Wick Chapter 2.
Woohoo!
Like, talk about a great sequel that came out of nowhere, and this sequel is perfect. I love the first John Wick. John Wick 1 was awesome. However, John Wick Chapter 2, blew the first one out of the water. It's really perfect. Like, John Wick is awesome. I love the action. I love the story. I love the world. It's like Highlander, but with guns. That's awesome. Oh, the pencil, a freaking pencil in the eye. Like, that was awesome. I want to see that, but that was an amazing scene. Like, damn. Like, Kelvin is back, and I hope he stays because but one Fishburne, like, what was great too, we didn't get to see him, like, Kill Bill, you know what? He's great. I'm glad he came back. Like, it's very, let's see Neo and Morpheus came back. It's awesome. And the very much that the engineer was good, and put the female assassin, she was insane and awesome, and she's silent. That's pretty cool. Like, I love this movie, and I can't remember Chapter 3.
All right, is it working?
Like,
Can anyone see me on my camera? Okay, it's working.
no, I can
We
see
see you.
My camera sucks, so it might not work. Whatever. Continue, David. Don't mind me.
Nice. I love John Wick, and I can't wait for John Wick Chapter 3. Oh, nice. That's my number 3, time for number 2. My number 2 best movie I just went to is an anime movie that did come out this year, and this was released. However, this movie was one of the I saw a year, one of the anime movies, so it's with hand-drawn. My number 2 is Your Name.
Your Name.
Yeah.
Didn't it come out? It came out last year, right?
It did, but it didn't come out to the States until this year.
Okay. January. Okay.
Yeah, because this movie was a limited release movie. And damn, this movie would put the English dub with the maybe because this movie it's not a bias stuff, but there's actually a twist to it. And the way they do it, I did not see it coming. It was depressing. And damn, this movie was one of the best anime movies all year.
They're talking about making a live-action remake of that movie.
Which I'm against that. I am pissed about that. Like, stop remaking this movie. It doesn't work. Because especially when you definitely with, I'll get to definitely no way I'm on my worst choice because oh boy, I'm gonna land that train wreck. But this movie is every number 1. It has a great story, great characters, great writing, great visuals. I mean, it's perfect. Like, I heard this movie, and I'm pointing to how did not screw this up. Oh, I agree with this movie is being the live action movie directed by J.J. Abrams.
Okay. Number 2.
Like, like, point is, this movie's great, and watch the anime movie, do not watch the live action crap.
Okay.
All right. All right. That's my number 2. Tell my number 1. My number 1 best movie 2017 is please.
Transformers the Last Night.
Wrong. In your dreams, Logan. What kind of Hugh Jackman great at Fun Wolverine? Japanese kid is great as Roy at X-23 or my author at the in Marvel. That's Spider-Man. Who's up to the all new Wolverine. Okay, we'll back so now I'll talk about that later. But Hugh Jackman killed it at the performance. Japanese kid is great. Patrick Stewart at Professor X. Funny as all. Like, this is one of the best ones that I love about the Professor X movie. It's funny. Like, but the way, and but another thing of it, it's a Western. But what they would with Wolverine, that is awesome. Like, this movie did everything I ever wanted. Yeah, great story. Great at the villains. Okay, the villain might be at the end, but well, who cares? It's all about Logan. And this movie did everything I want. Yeah, the great story. It ends Logan's story. It ends basically okay, Laura should continue, but it ends with the X story. I love this movie, and I'm praying God the Oscar nominated this movie for an Oscar. Like, this movie's in the Oscar. Highway. It's in this, you know that. Nominated this movie for an Oscar. It's an Oscar, then that's the one to win. This movie is great. I like me and Hugh Jackman. Like, even after Wolverine, this is a great final performance, and I'm praying God this movie gets an Oscar. Like, this movie is everything I want. And with Johnny Cash, the song would also need the credits.
All right. How long was that, Mark?
1/2 of your Earth hours.
Well,
Okay. That's not bad. It's major improvement to the last year was 40 something. Anyway, so it's a great list, Logan. I disagree with Logan and with War for the Planet of the Apes. I liked both movies, but I didn't love them as everybody did. Everybody's like, "Oh man, Logan is so good." I was like, "Okay, it's good. But it's not great. It's good. It's decent. I liked it. Didn't love it, but okay.
Yep.
All right. I really want to hear Dan's list. So Dan,
your list.
Go next.
All right.
Incomplete list.
I said this is a tentative list. I want you to know this is not a final list. There are still 5 quote-unquote Oscar contenders that I have not seen. So that's why this is not my final list, Max. This is my,
Make it made. That movie's great.
Best I can do with what I have to work with here. I'll give you some honorable mentions, just like Stephen and Tavia. So here we go. I got Logan Lucky. All right, I'm a huge fan of Steven Soderbergh, and I'll tell you what, this is a return to form for Steven Soderbergh. He really brought me back to some of the classic movies that he's made in his past. Of course, a lot of people are comparing it to Ocean's 11, but in my opinion, I'll be honest, I think it's better than Ocean's 11. I think Daniel Craig has done something he's never done before in this movie. You know, as what was Steven? Do you remember his name in Logan Lucky? Daniel Craig. Oh my God, I can't think of it.
Joe Banks. That's his name.
Joe Banks.
He was so cool in that movie. You know, and what a great cast too in Logan Lucky. I have another honorable mention. A lot of you guys had it as in your top 10s. I just have it as an honorable mention. That's War for the Planet of the Apes. Great movie. Don't get me wrong. I had it on my top 10 for a long time. But I think there was problems with it after I started thinking about it. And I've seen it multiple times. The war aspect of it really kind of threw me for a loop. There's not a real lot of war going on. I think it's a psychological war. I think the title War for the Planet of the Apes is like a psychological war in the heads of some of these characters. So that's where the war and the advertising campaign really got me upset. Steven knows how I was going on and on about the advertising campaign for a while there for War for the Planet of the Apes because of the title of the movie and not technically having any wars in the movie. Another film that somebody's had on their top 10 list, Wonder Woman. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Just not in my top 10 because there's just so many great films this year. You just can't put 25 films in a top 10 list. It doesn't fit. It's like putting a square peg in a round hole.
Well, Dan, I mean, you're known for like saying, "Hey, I'm putting these 5 films as my number 10 because they're all tied for number 10." I'm surprised you didn't do that, but okay.
I'm not doing that, Steven. Can't promise I won't do that for my worst films, though. Also, another honorable mention, and once I see it a third time, maybe I'll put it in my top 10. I've already seen it twice, and I really enjoyed it a lot. But I just, the parenting aspect of it and the teenage girl aspect of it, I think we saw it better. I think we saw it done better last year with Edge of 17, and that's Lady Bird. I think Edge of 17 was a better film in my opinion.
I agree with you because like I was debating on putting it in my honorable mentions, but honestly, I felt like the Edge of 17 did a lot of that stuff a lot better in that movie. Yeah. But that's just me.
And then also another honorable mention that I have is a couple of you guys had it in your top 10 or your honorable mentions is Logan. Very good film. I can't really say anything bad about Logan. It's just I'm being a broken record here. You just can't put 15, 17, 25 films in the top 10 list. So I have that in my honorable mentions. Another film that Steven had on his list that, a guy from Boston. I'm ashamed, but I'm ashamed that this is in my honorable mentions and not my top 10 because I really love this. And I think, in a year that's really not giving us a lot of great male acting leading performances.
That's true.
Nobody's talking about Jake Gyllenhaal. Nobody's talking about Jake Gyllenhaal in the leading acting Oscar category, which to me is a travesty. And his girlfriend in it, if you guys are Orphan Black fans from Canada, Tatiana Maslany, I hope she just breaks out from her role. And
I've not seen Orphan Black for a while because I gave up after season 1.
Yeah, I never watched Orphan Black, but I hear it's great.
I am. Season 1 was good, but season 2 I think goes down a little fast. I think it's been a while.
Another honorable mention, a film that you guys have mentioned couple times as well, Disaster Artist. It has been well known from circles that I kind of go in that I have not seen The Room. I wanted to see The Room. I had multiple opportunities to see The Room in the last couple of months and didn't see it. But I did see The Disaster Artist, and I'll tell you what, I love the film. It really showed me a lot about the man of Tommy Wiseau and Greg Nicotero, and Dave Franco and James Franco. I mean, you can't say enough about what a great job these guys are. And once again, I'm going to go back to that best acting category of the Oscars. It would really be a disservice to a lot of people involved in the movie The Disaster Artist if James Franco doesn't get a Best Actor nominee in a very, very slim pickings year for Best Actors.
I just want to see Tommy Wiseau at the Oscars.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be funny.
Yes.
He's been doing a lot of the like talk shows and stuff with James Franco now. And James Franco is doing a lot of the parties. He's starting to go to the parties, trying to build up a campaign for him to get a Oscar for Best Actor. The other one I have also is another one is, you see the poster behind me? It's right there behind me. It's called The Florida Project. I'll tell you what, I don't know what the poverty situation is in the places where you guys live, but Orlando and specifically the county that I live in, Volusia County, Florida, has got a real epidemic of poverty. And what Sean Baker captured for me is that These little children, they don't know that they're poor. They're going around, they're having a good time, they're having their little adventures. And then, of course, we see the aspect from the mother's point of view and the things she's got to do. I'll tell you what, a powerful, powerful film, The Florida Project. And I please, Oscars, give Willem Dafoe his Oscar. This is the year of redemption for some of these people. This is the redemption Oscars, in my opinion. Some of these guys have put the work in for decades, finally get their opportunity to get their stuff.
Yeah, but also they keep like nominating other people, but they keep like shoving other movies. But it's really depressing because Academy, if you care about films, care about these actors, damn it.
Good job. Well said, Tavia. Well said, Tavia. Willem Dafoe, please, he needs to get an Oscar for his whole career. Give him the career Oscar. And of course, I just missing out today. Just missing out today, and I've seen it like 3 or 4 times. I just couldn't slip it in there. Get Out. I know.
Yeah, Get Out.
Get
out of here.
Get out!
I got it. Number 11. I love the film.
To the camera.
You know, I saw it way back in February, like everybody did, like the first week in February, and I'm like, I could not believe what I was watching. I just thought it was an amazing film. There's another one. I hope Peele gets some nominations. I hope it gets a lot of love at the Oscars.
Same. It's a great horror movie.
I think if anything, it's going to get a writing nomination.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go now for writing.
Best original screenplay, probably.
Now I'm going to go into my top. Now I'm going to go into my top 10 list.
Right.
I'll tell you, and like I said, this is really hard. This has been a really good year for film. That started off kind of like, oh God,
bad.
Not a very good year. Because Stephen and I have these kinds of conversations a lot. This is not a good year for films for about 10 months, maybe 8 months.
I think 8 months in January. It's January with the shit month for movies.
I think August we started getting a little bit better films in August. But my number 10 is Wind River. I'll tell you what, boy, Taylor Sheridan. This is what's called the neo-Western trilogy. Sicario, Hell or High Water, and Wind River. They're all modern westerns and taking place in Oklahoma, Texas, Wyoming, and Arizona.
Speaking of Sicario, we're getting Sicario 2.
Yeah,
well, that's not Taylor Sheridan. That's not Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah, it is Taylor Sheridan.
Well, he's writing it, but he's not directing it.
Okay.
Who's directing it?
Well, that's good. Soldado. You're right. Soldado. I can't wait for that. That looks great.
Yeah.
But this is
awesome.
Jeremy Renner's best performance. This is another performance that nobody's talking about. Jeremy Renner gives probably the performance of his lifetime. Elizabeth Olsen, really great. You know, I'm glad they had it in August, because if I watched Wind River in like December or something, man, I would have felt a lot more cold, because it's like in the 40s in Florida right now. I know you guys are, I'm crying about the weather. You guys are probably a lot colder up where you're at. But so number 9 is, I'll tell you what, The Big Sick was is one of the best surprises of this year or a lot of other years, because you don't get romantic comedies that are worth the crap anymore.
They're all bad.
Horror genre was down for so many years. In the last 3 years, the horror genre has roared back. Well,
if I came good after crap movies.
The genre that's in the toilet is romantic comedy. But this is a true story. So, I mean, to put the comedy involved in a real life situation about people being in comas and people being sick and stuff like that, and this relationship, I'll tell you what, I give all the credit to my main man over here, Kumail Nanjiani. I mean, that movie is fantastic. I loved it from the moment I saw it, and I'm going to always champion the cause of The Big Sick. I think it's a fantastic film. My number 8 is a film that I didn't see that long ago, but I want to see it again very soon. I was talking to Stephen about it today, and that's Darkest Hour. Gary Oldman gives the performance of a lifetime. Maybe it's
Oh wait, I did the World War II movie, right? With
Winston
President Hoover.
Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill. Shit.
You know, I'm not gonna say this is the best performance of Gary Oldman's career, because the guy has given phenomenal performances year after year after year. But I think this year, in a slow kind of year for best acting performances, I think you gotta give that Oscar to Gary Oldman. He's fantastic as Winston Churchill. And if you look at the side by side of him in the makeup and Winston Churchill, it's almost like it's uncanny how much he looks like Winston Churchill. It's ridiculous. And he really captured what Winston Churchill was going through at this time, because the politics and everything, plus you had the Dunkirk situation going on. So I had to have Darkest Hour on there. And
yeah, we know Gary Oldman's best performance is Drexel from True Romance.
Oh, yeah.
Where he plays a crackhead. Or something.
Those dreadlocks. Come on.
Great. He's great in Leon the Professional. He's great in
Fifth Element.
Come on, Zorg, man, Zorg.
Yeah, you're right. Fifth Element. He's great in the Fifth Element. My number 7 is
Fifth Element. I forget.
My number 7 is a film that Tavia already mentioned called Molly's Game. Molly's Game. Wow. I mean, another, and this is a stacked year for female actresses. I think they're going to be all about Jessica Chastain. Once again, she's going to be the girl that gets kicked out of the Oscars again for not having a great. This woman gives performance after performance.
Yeah, she did a good performance. It was great. This one surprised me.
There's not been a lot of movies about poker or a lot, but I'll tell you what, this is the whole world that she was living in, this whole kind of poker game world and stuff in Hollywood and backroom dealing and stuff.
And FBI.
And then it turns into like a courtroom drama, and that's kind of interesting too. So
yeah, it did.
I really enjoyed Molly's Game. And like I said, this is a tentative list. Who knows when and if these films are going to still be on my list come my final list. Another film that Tavia mentioned, right here, Spider-Man Homecoming. I loved it. Absolutely loved Spider-Man Homecoming. It was my number 1 film for quite a while. I think I had it as my number 1 film halfway through the year back in July. I think this is the Spider-Man film we've all wanted to see for so many years.
After Spider-Man 3, I kind of franchise failed.
It took Kevin Feige, the All-Father, the Almighty, our Lord and Savior, Kevin Feige, to get this right, and hopefully everything going forward is going to be great.
Hope we saw your script with that Venom movie coming out. With kill me.
Don't be so kind of like negative about Venom, because there may be a little secret coming down the pipe, Tavia, that might get Venom back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe somehow. Trust me. You want to keep your ear to the grindstone on that, because this may be a little secret coming out in the next few months that you may have heard.
Hopefully it's good and then Sony and mess it up, because I heard rumors that movie is a split, right? Somebody's not an MCU, somebody's not MCU. It's just confusing. But Silver Sand Black Cat movie again too, and oh god.
Trust me, there's a method to their madness, my friend. There's a method to their madness on this. My number 5 is Blade Runner 2049.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, this film is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. I don't care how long. This film could have went on for 5 hours.
For 4 hours.
I would not have had a problem with this film's length or any of this storytelling, because the aesthetics between Los Angeles and San Diego and Las Vegas in this film are just, I mean, the dichotomy between the 3 cities and how he filmed each city, and they all look differently, and they all just look breathtakingly beautiful. Oh my God. I mean, I cannot say enough about Blade Runner 2049. It's such a beautiful, wonderful movie. And I'm upset that the Oscar people and these award show people aren't talking about this film more.
Yeah, why aren't they talking about it? It's a great sequel.
Yeah, it's. I mean, for a film to come out that late, I mean, a sequel to come out that many years later, Tavia, it's shocking. that it could be such a great film. But Denny Villeneuve, the guy knows how to make great movies. My number 4 is Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I'll tell you what. You want to talk about a great performance by Frances McDormand? This brings me back to Fargo, where she just was so unbelievable. She controlled the screen. She controlled everything that was going on in her performance in Fargo, and she did the same thing in this film. And like Steven said, I think he might have mentioned, Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockwell and all these great supporting roles, John Hawkes and Peter Dinklage. And I mean, what an interesting movie. I mean, you just don't get movies like this anymore. And I'm glad that Oscar's trying to push this movie because it deserves it. It's a different kind of movie with all the kind of popcorn blockbuster kind of blow 'em up.
Explosion!
This is a small movie that has a really powerful story that needs to be championed. And Frances McDormand, God, I hate to say it, Frances McDormand. I think you're not going to win the Oscar because of somebody else. My number 3 is a film that somebody mentioned already, and that is
Baby Driver.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. Wow,
Yes.
wow, do I love Baby Driver. Steven and I had many conversations about Baby Driver and how just what an amazing movie this is. Ansel Elgort, the music, just John Hamm. John Hamm came out. If you're a Madman fan, you know about John Hamm. But his movie career has kind of been rocky, if at best. His $1 Million Arm was good. But this is the movie that really, they said, here's John Hamm. Take him for what he is. Jamie Foxx. I mean, Kevin Spacey, whether you like him, you don't like him.
Yeah, we're Connery about Kevin Spacey.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Still good. He's still a good actor.
My favorite movie of all time is LA Confidential. It ain't changing.
And
I come to a good movie. Very underrated.
I can't wait to see what Edgar Wright has to do next because that movie really gave me a lot of energy towards wanting to see more Edgar Wright films.
The more I think about it, Edgar Ant-Man movie would have been amazing.
You don't know. Who knows what kind of thing he had planned for Ant-Man? I mean,
I was taking credit for Ant-Man.
I will say this. I wish Neil Blomkamp had made the Alien movie instead of Ridley Scott or whoever.
Which we'll get that movie later.
Blomkamp, I mean, his Alien right now is the one I wish I would have seen instead of Ridley Scott.
Yeah, Covenant.
But my number 2 is The Shape of Water, and I just mentioned Frances McDormand's probably going to lose the Oscar to a young lady who's been nominated.
Yes.
Nominated twice, has not won. Part of my redemption year, what I want is redemption for the Oscars, and I want Sally Hawkins to get her Oscar.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, she's killed it in that movie.
Man, oh my God.
Yeah, she's a mute.
I mean, I love her. Yeah, if you're a fan of The Creature from the Black Lagoon, if you're a fan of just Guillermo del Toro and Pan's Labyrinth, Crimson Peak, awful movie. But
No.
Shape of Water is a phenomenal movie. And if a genre movie can win the Best Picture, it gives me hope for the Oscars that they're starting to think outside the box. Last year with Moonlight, maybe this year with the film like Three Billboards or Shape of Water or Dunkirk or something like that. We're starting to get these kind of different kinds of films that are stepping to the forefront, and that's what makes Shape of Water. And I'll tell you what, the sets, Guillermo del Toro, the set, you felt like you were in the movie with these characters. All the stuff looks real and realistic and stuff. I really love The Shape of Water, and my number 1 film of the year as of today is Dunkirk. Dunkirk.
Nice.
I mean, I'll tell you, Steven said a mouthful when he said you feel like when stuff was going by, the waves were. You felt like you're like in a boat, and the waves were like splashing against the boat, or like Tom Hardy's in the plane and he's like doing a dogfight, and you're like, wow, and the bullets are flying by, and you're like, looking over here, you're looking over there, because the bullets, you felt like you're in the plane with Tom Hardy, and the bullets are coming after you, and when you're in the boats, the waves were splashing up and stuff, and seeing it in the best possible screen, the 70 millimeter or IMAX screens, really made the film that much better, and it really made it like you were involved, like you were like in the film and everything was going on around you. And all this talk about, oh, Dunkirk may not win the Best Picture Oscar and all this stuff because they don't have the greatest performances. It's not about the performances of the actors. It's about the actual event that took place. And that's the men on the beach, the men in the water, the men in the air in these vehicles. It's about Dunkirk. It's about World War II. It's about the event. And the event is why this movie is so good, and why Christopher Nolan wanted to talk about this film and tell people about this story, because it has been done. It has been done before in a 2-hour, 48-minute movie back in the 60s, I believe. But this is the definitive Dunkirk, and it goes hand in hand, in my opinion, with Darkest Hour. It's a great about 4.5 hour double feature. If you get the DVDs or the Blu-rays or the 4Ks or the whatever the heck you buy, do this later in the year. Do the double feature of Dunkirk and Darkest Hour. It'll be a great double feature. So those are my top 10 as of today.
All right. That's cool. Dunkirk. I like Dunkirk a lot. It's on my list. I won't say which number it is. That would be spoiling.
Oh, it's definitely not number one. So
no, it's not number one.
Well, we know what your number one is.
Yeah, we all know
number
it.
one is Transformers: The Last Night. This is a. I'm kidding.
A spit take.
I'm not going to waste any of that. So no, not for Transformers.
So who wants to go next?
Can I go?
I don't mind. Okay, you go, Mark. Mark, the artist formerly known as Mark Tordai.
Thank you very much. That will also be on my Twitter and everything. And every time you address me, you have to say the artist formerly known. It's a whole thing.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
So here are my honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is Wonder Woman. I think that Wonder Woman is a good film, but it's also a depressing film, because this will be the greatest movie that the DCEU ever makes. That's it. We're done. That's the peak. It's the the summit of their filmmaking experience, and it's just going to be downhill from here. This will be the greatest movie. It'll be the highest rated on Rotten Tomatoes, specifically from critics, and that's it. It's just going to be piles of shit downhill from here.
Until we get Suicide Squad 2.
Oh, dear
well, that's
God.
going to be a masterpiece. We all know that, because the first one was. But the third act I have a problem with a little bit for Wonder Woman. Also, history lesson. At the end, Wonder Woman wasn't killing Nazis because the Nazis weren't around until 1921. I just really, really want to stress that. That was the Imperial German Army.
Yeah, German Army.
Not Nazis. Jews were actually able to serve in the army during the time. So that's just a little tidbit that annoyed me on the internet. Number two, It Comes at Night. I actually really like this movie. It was an honorable mention because it didn't make my list. I honestly really was kind of taken. Stop puffing me, Dan. I was really taken aback by this movie because it is a lot of expectation, and in the end, it is kind of like a balloon, getting the air kind of
it
out of
did
it.
pay off, though. It did pay off.
But I liked it. I really like that people were pissed off at it because it did something different. Like it was like, hey, we're gonna get something, and then
we get nothing.
Don't, and that's kind of like a good
They
metaphor
blue
for
balls
life.
you. They
It's
blue
a great
balls you.
metaphor for life. You're building up, and nothing happens. It's
And then you get-
fantastic.
Well, sure,
I
you
agree
did
with
have
you, Mark. I agree with you, Mark.
So the next one, my third one, is War for the Planet of the Apes. I do have problems with War. There are some contrivances and some conveniences in the third act, but I am a massive, massive Planet of the Apes fan. It's my favorite film franchise. The original with Charlton Heston is my second favorite
original, the
movie of all
classic.
time.
Okay.
I also really love Conquest for the Planet of the Apes and Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Man, Conquest is
Um,
fantastic.
What was that?
Far better than Conquest.
What was that, dude?
Conquest is fantastic. It's the best.
Yeah, Conquest is extremely underrated and very, very good.
I
also really
Escape.
love
I think
the
Escape
other
is
two.
better.
I really loved Escape's great. Beneath is very weird. Someone was on acid when they were doing that. And then Battle is not good. But I also loved Love Rise, loved Dawn, and I really like War for the Planet of the Apes.
Question. But when you read the mutants, right, with the whole nuclear bomb and that planet
That
explodes,
was the second one. That was Beneath the Planet.
I hate that.
Yeah. They worship they worship the almighty bomb. It's actually kind of weird, very weird.
Kind of Fallout. Like,
Yeah, my next one is Blade Runner 2049. I saw Blade Runner years ago, didn't really like it, but watched it recently, just in October before I watched 2049, and I really liked it. I really appreciated it. You know, my opinion.
It's the best one out of all the versions of Blade Runner, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I watched the final cut, the final one. So I really enjoyed it. So I went into 2049, really enjoyed the film. Visually, probably the best, made film of the year, visually speaking. And Denis Villeneuve is fantastic. I love Sicario, love Prisoners. I'm starting to like Arrival. I'm starting to like Arrival a little more. I've seen it twice. I didn't like it as much last year. Like it better now. And then the last one is controversial, and you're all wrong if you disagree with my opinion, because Alien Covenant is a good movie.
What? It is a fantastic movie. It is a fantastic.
It is a great movie.
Yes.
Okay, going like this. Okay, I say this about movies. I have a theory about The Happening, which some of you know. If you watch The Happening as a Twilight Zone episode parody,
horrible.
If you watch it as a Twilight Zone parody movie, it's not as bad. Watch Alien Covenant. Watch Alien Covenant as a 1980s slasher movie, a la Friday the 13th, and replace the stupid, idiot teenage camp counselors for stupid, idiot space colonists, and it is actually very enjoyable.
No, I actually agree. Alien Covenant is fantastic.
It was the blood, the violence. It was awesome. Now, was it perfect? Did it exceed my expectations? Yeah, I have problems with it, of course, but I don't know why people shout on that movie. Anyway, now to get into my top 10. Number 10 is number 10 we talked about before. What was it? The Disaster Artist is my number 10.
Nice.
So I really love The Disaster Artist. The Room I saw years ago, and I fucking love bad movies. Like bad movies, I go out of my way to buy bad movies, to watch bad movies. You guys know I have 10 DVDs of really shitty Nicolas Cage movies. I have Bangkok Dangerous.
Nice.
I own it on DVD. I own The Happening. I own The Cobbler. The Cobbler is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life, and I had to buy it. Don't ever watch The Cobbler.
We could almost do a podcast of the top 10 Nicolas Cage movies of the year, because he comes out with so many B movies all year.
Oh my god!
I think a new movie at the next year.
Actually,
but I love bad movies. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
I was just going to say, Nicolas Cage, you might be surprised in the new movie coming out, Mom and Dad. I got to see
Oh, really?
Awesome.
Yeah. I saw the trailer.
I saw a trailer, but it looked really, really interesting.
He gets to play crazy in it, so.
Yes.
Yeah, you're crazy.
And he's good. And also, by the way, a good movie, 2 good movies that he's been in recently, Lord of War and Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Those are great movies. Anyway, back to The Disaster Artist. Back to The Disaster Artist. Love bad movies. The Room is one of the best bad movies ever. And I thought what The Disaster Artist did was sort of capture the ambition of Tommy Wiseau. Nobody actually, like, unless you're like Ed Wood, or unless you're like a niche filmmaker, nobody really wants to make a bad movie. Everybody always wants to be a Spielberg or a Hitchcock, and they basically think that they're going to be making a masterpiece. And that's what's so interesting about making a bad movie, because everyone goes into it thinking they're going to make a masterpiece. And of course, this one was literally a disaster. And what I like about The Disaster Artist is, again, they're struggling actors. We don't really know too much about Tommy Wiseau. And James Franco was fantastic. The whole cast was fantastic. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. That's my number 10. Yeah. Now, I also really love the behind-the-scenes stuff. That was great too. My number 9, I haven't heard it on anyone's top 10, and I'd be very interested to see if it's on anyone's top 10. A hugely divisive film that I liked a lot, which was Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi.
Oh,
I thoroughly enjoyed it a lot. I love The Force Awakens. I really liked Rogue One. This I didn't like as much as The Force Awakens or Rogue One, admittedly. But you know what? I love what they did to Luke. I loved Ryan Johnson's big middle fingers to the Star Wars fans. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like there's certain things that people expected, and Ryan Johnson was like, "Fuck you! I'm making Star Wars. You're not making Star Wars." And I think what killed this movie was obsessive internet speculation.
Absolutely.
Obsessive.
Absolutely.
Because you should never, because everyone who's a Star Wars fanboy was going into that movie with their own movie in their head.
Nope.
Ever make that as you can never get that expectation, right? It's too high. The expectations are too high. So they all wanted characters to be a certain way, and Ryan Johnson said no way. And that's why I like and respect it. My opinion. Okay.
Can I just say something?
Number 8.
Wait. I just want to say something. That's the thing.
So go ahead, Max. Go ahead.
That's the thing with Star Wars fanboys is that they expect they envision a movie in their heads, and they're like, okay, we're gonna get this movie, and then it's not.
What it is to Snoke and Rey and Kylo Ren.
It's so annoying.
It's like, oh well, what the fuck did you do with this? Instead of actually just sitting down and enjoy the movie, you're speculating. And I wasn't a fan of any of the trailers for that movie, and the movie you will see.
I like the first trailer. The first trailer is great.
Oh, okay. Continue.
Okay, number 8. I watched this just a couple nights ago. It has been mentioned. The Big Sick. Really, really great film. Now, a lot of my friends are of the South Asian culture. I have quite a few friends. I actually have a friend who's divorced. He's from Bangladesh. He's divorced. He's my very best friend in the whole world. And his marriage was arranged. And it was arranged when he was living in England at the time. And I haven't seen it with him because for him, he said it's going to be too personal. So I don't know if he would like it or whatever. But I have at least 4 or 5 friends that are from India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh. And the pressure that they're under, especially if they find like a Canadian or an American girl or a British girl, as opposed to someone from back home in South Asia, wherever it is incredible. Like I had a friend of mine he's like almost 4. Well, we used to be friends, but he's pushing 40, and he's had so much stress of arranged marriages that he's just basically given up, and that's very common because he knows that no one will be as good as what his mother wants for him, whatever. So there was a lot of really great stuff. Now the movie in itself, I think Ray Romano gives an incredibly subtle performance. I hope he's nominated. I don't know if he will be. Maybe for something like an Independent Spirit Award. I'm hoping that he gets nominated. I don't know about an Oscar, but his performance was great. Holly Hunter was fantastic, and Zoe Kazan, I think, should get nominated. She is absolutely incredible. And I loved it. I love the whole cultural thing. I loved it was an immigrant story. It was great. So that's my number 8. If you haven't seen that one, guys, it's a high recommend. It's a feel-good movie, good drama, great writing, great direction, great performances. So you can't go wrong with The Big Sick. So that's my number 8. Now my number 7 is one I haven't heard. And I don't care. This deserves to be number 7 because I fucking loved this movie. I went into this movie rolling my eyes, thinking it would be good, and it exceeded my expectations. And you're all gonna laugh. I don't care.
Jumanji.
It was Jumanji. Welcome to
Nice.
It was good.
I freaking loved Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle. I did not, and again, I didn't go in thinking, oh, this will be on my top 10. I went in thinking, I'm hoping I just have some fun with this movie. But I really loved the concept of getting, pulled into this video game, going through these levels. But I will tell you what solidified my love for this movie was Jack Black.
Jack Black.
I freaking loved him when he's trying, and no spoilers, but he's trying to teach a character how to flirt. It's gold. It is so funny, okay? And The Rock I thought was great. Kevin Hart. I thought Karen Gillan, who I normally don't really love, I don't like her as Nebula in the Guardians movies, and she was in another movie called The Circle,
she's
which
great,
I'm gonna mention in my bottom 10, and she was not good in those movies. She was really great, and all the teenagers were great. But Jack Black acting like a 16-year-old girl, I don't know what it was. I loved every minute of it. So I don't care. It's not the greatest film, I'll admit. You know, it's a good movie. It's not the greatest, but enjoyment factor had to put it on my list.
I'm surprised we got good review on some marriage. Because I expected the movie to be like horrible. I love
it's a great movie, man.
I loved it, man. Yeah, I loved, and I will. But this is one of these ones where I'm like, as soon as it comes out on like DVD, Blu-ray, I'm buying it. I'm gonna watch it like tons of times. Plus, of course, I did grow up on the original Jumanji.
Yeah,
this is much better. This is a much better movie than the original Jumanji.
I agree.
Mark,
I don't know. Anyway, my opinion. Hashtag controversy.
Mark, just I agree with you on that. And just real quick, I know we need to move on. We're going long.
No
but
worries.
Wouldn't you say that the adult actors, and what sold it for me, because it's on my list too, a little spoiler, because I enjoyed it, but what got me was you forgot that those were adults throughout that whole movie. They felt like they were actually teenagers. The chemistry between those four was phenomenal. And yeah, Jack Black, he's up and down, hit or miss with me. He was so hit with this film.
He is perfect. He's seriously every time I'm thinking he's playing a 16-year-old girl, and she wants to Instagram. Where's her phone? The lines that he was given, just the whole like teenage millennial speak, the dialect or whatever, the vernacular. He was perfect. Anyway, loved it. Okay, so number 6, huge diversion from a fun, silly comedy. This was a very serious drama. Dan mentioned this. Wind River. Wind River is a fantastic thriller. I think it is Jeremy Renner's best performance since he did a movie a few years ago called Kill the Messenger, which is extremely underrated. It's one of the greatest movies about journalism, I think, in our modern time. Kill the Messenger. Please watch that film. It's amazing. However, Wind River is very much in the vein of a Denis Villeneuve thriller done by, is it Taylor or Tyler Sheridan? I can't
Taylor
Sheridan, who's obviously a screenwriter and an actor. His first directorial movie. Like, this is insane. The pacing was fantastic. The performances were fantastic. Elizabeth Olsen, who was in a movie called is it called something like Marcy May Marlene or something?
Marcy.
Such a good movie. That is such a good movie. So she's up and down, I think, sometimes, but in this movie she was great. And I do want to give a shout out to the two Native American / First Nation actors, Graham Greene, who we haven't seen in a little while, and Gil Birmingham, who was in Hell or High Water. Specifically, Gil Birmingham. That guy was fantastic in Hell or High Water, which is a movie I'm slowly enjoying more. I didn't like it when I first saw it, but I'm slowly enjoying it more as I see it now. Awesome. And John Bernthal, by the way, small role, fantastic in that movie.
He's in it?
He's amazing. And he's on your profile picture, of course.
Wait. He's in Wind River.
Yeah, he's in Wind River.
Joe, damn.
He's been in a lot of stuff this year, and he's amazing. Number 5.
Bernthal never ceases to impress me.
He's amazing. Yeah, and I still have to watch The Punisher, but I know that's
The Punisher. Anyway, so boring. Oh my god.
Yeah, was it? Anyway, number 5. Number 5 for me is my first of 2 superhero movies. It's Logan. I'm a huge X-Men fan. I love Wolverine. Wolverine is my second favorite X-Men next to Colossus. Love Deadpool last year. Love Wolverine. Also, the fact that Patrick Stewart, who's I've been watching on television since Star Trek: The Next Generation as a kid, he was powerful in this movie. Patrick Stewart was unbelievable. I love the R rating. I love the blood. I love the violence. I love the story. I love the heart in the end. I loved X-23. I love the fact that they gave it an open-ended ending, an open-ended ending. So there obviously is a possibility for a sequel. It worked. I mean, it was R-rated. It was gritty. It was violent. It was awesome. Loved Logan. Number 4 is a movie that I would actually disagree with a couple of you to say that Edge of 17 was better, because I thought Lady Bird was absolutely exceptional, and it's my number 4. I love Edge of 17, don't get me wrong. Woody Harrelson's one of my favorite actors. He's also a really, really nice guy. in real life. He's like one of the coolest dudes you'll ever meet in your life. But there was something about Lady Bird that hit me a little bit more, like I connected more to her as a character than Nadine in Edge of 17. Again, still great movies, you know. Both of them are fantastic, but there was just something about Lady Bird. I think Saoirse Ronan is probably going to get nominated. I love the fact that it's Greta Gerwig's first film, and I hope that Laurie Metcalf gets nominated. Laurie Metcalf was really, really, really great in this movie, but I think it's also a bit of a showy kind of movie. Like it might, for example, be on everyone's plate, and it might ignore some other films that maybe are, let's say, better in some people's opinions. But to me, you know, I know Saoirse Ronan will probably be nominated. It's and I thought she was pretty exceptional anyway. Number 3 for me was Get Out. This was such a great movie. I'm a big Twilight Zone fan, as you guys know. This was 100% a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, it was.
And what I love, there's 2 Twilight Zone episodes that are actually 3 of them that are mysteries. One is To Serve Man. The second is 5 Characters in Search of an Exit, and the third one is called Will the Real Martians Stand Up? Now, why I'm mentioning those ones is because when you watch those for the first time, they're great episodes and you get something out of it. But when you watch it a second time, you pick up on the clues, except the clues do not ruin the ending. They make the ending even better.
More interesting.
Okay, so for me, Get Out was one of those things where the first act and the setup, when you see it again, to me it makes the movie even better, and that's just good writing. It's excellent writing. So I loved Get Out. Message was great. Performances were great. But specifically, when you see it again and again and again, you're going to understand. You're going to pick up on
twist. Holy shit! I
love that twist. That twist is fantastic.
Spoil.
Okay, number 2. All right, number 2. No spoilers. Number 2. My favorite superhero movie of last year, Justice League. No, no, fuck that movie. That movie was a pile of shit. Number 2 is Spider-Man: Homecoming. And I'll just be brief on this because it's funny. It's got a ton of heart. Tom Holland is great, but Michael Keaton was so good. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I got to mention a scene, and I'm going to be very, very vague. There's a scene where Michael Keaton and Tom Holland are in a car.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Holy crap, they went there, man. They went there.
Yeah,
because
that
if
was
you see
intense.
the scene, you know what Michael Keaton, what object he has in his hand.
Yep.
And it is so I couldn't believe they went there. Okay, so Spider-Man: Homecoming, I've seen it a couple times after. Saw it 2 or 3 times in the theaters. This was hilarious, and I did like the original Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire somewhat.
Same.
And I didn't mind I didn't mind the Amazing Spider-Man, mainly because I really like Garfield and Emma Stone. Other than that, they weren't very good. And number 2 sucked. The second one was bad. Okay, so the number 1 film of the year. I rarely see movies in IMAX, but I saw Dunkirk 3 times in IMAX, and it's been my number 1 since it came out, which was in April, I guess.
April.
Dunkirk is fucking incredible. Okay, it is every single frame of that movie is a picture. It's a painting. Okay, you could literally frame any single frame of that movie and put it on your wall. Okay, 70 millimeter was fantastic. The IMAX was fantastic. The scope and the scale of that film, the stunts, the action, the fighting, the struggle, everything was incredible. And war movies are probably my favorite genre next to science fiction. So I've seen hundreds of war movies, like legitimately, and it's very, very rare that like we get war movies of this caliber. We sometimes get war movies every couple years, and a lot of them are good, but like Hacksaw Ridge,
the same British story.
But like Hacksaw Ridge last year I thought was an incredible film. But before that, we didn't get really that many war movies that were really exceptional. This one is absolutely incredible. I would say it's up there for me with movies like The Thin Red Line, Platoon. I know a lot of you guys like Saving Private Ryan. I like it. I don't think it's like a masterpiece, but I do enjoy it.
What?
And other kind of movies.
Apocalypse
Yeah,
Now.
to me, The Thin Red Line is probably one of the greatest war movies ever made for World War II specifically.
I love that movie.
But regardless, it's still up there. It's still, to me, it's like if you took the top 5 or 10 World War II movies of like all time, Dunkirk's in there, along with all those other movies that we've seen before, Thin Red Line, Private Ryan, you know, on and on and on. Dirty Dozen's a great one and stuff. But yeah, loved it. I absolutely loved it. And as Max said, and it's been said before, the sound design was incredible. And the way that it just translated to the IMAX was, it sounds like a douchey thing to say, but it was an experience to see Dunkirk in IMAX. And it's something like, I do remember going to see Saving Private Ryan opening weekend in the theater and just watching those first 25 minutes and being blown away. There were times when I felt that again in Dunkirk, and that's very rare. So it's my number one.
I will say though that there was an IMAX experience that was much better than Dunkirk, and it was called Blade Runner 2049.
I agree with that 100%.
I thought Dunkirk was much better.
Just the IMAX, the sound, just Hans Zimmer's amazing score flowing through the speakers.
Hans Zimmer,
amazing cinematography. I mean, come on, man. You cannot go wrong with that. Okay. All right. The other Mark. Why don't you go ahead with your list?
Yep.
Well, first, thank you for having me on.
No problem.
Appreciate it. And I'll get through my list here quick. Yeah, I hate making lists, so just to let you know, these could probably be put in almost any order. But honorable mentions are going to be. I watched some that not a lot. I watch also wide release, but also stuff that maybe not so much wide release. So I got to do honorable mentions for a film called Kuso, considered the most disgusting film ever made. Which
what?
It's selected. Listen, now just hear me out. Kuso, independent film, and the reason I like it, and sometimes this is more of my favorites than so much best of. The reason I like it is because it's a filmmaker played by the filmmaker's Flying Lotus, and it is disgusting. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of disgusting stuff in it. I don't know. Has anyone here seen Kuso?
I'm looking at the trailer right now. It looks, what the fuck is this?
Exactly. See, here's the thing: is I have select tastes, and I'm sure the stuff I come up with, you guys will all probably say is shit, and that's fine. I get that. But for me, I like Kuso simply for the fact of it is so out there, so bizarre. It is so strange that you have to watch it twice, and even then, you won't get it all. It's disgusting if you can get through it. It is got disgusting scenes. Don't get me wrong, completely disgusting.
It's so disgusting.
I like films that push the edge. Personally, my taste. I like films where filmmakers are making a story that they want to make, and they don't care if it appeals to the mass audiences. I like
fuck the audience.
I like films like that. Okay, and for me, I had heard about stories about Kuso, and I'm like, I gotta see it, and I saw it, and yeah, it's disgusting. It's twisted. There is messages under here, but what the reason it's on my honorable mention is because the filmmaker made this film because he wanted to say something, and he didn't give a shit on if it appealed to anyone, and I got to give mad respect to that. So that's why I brought it up. So I'm sure no one here probably would watch it.
I've not even heard of that movie.
But I forgot which festival it was that made people throw up and some people leave the theater. I think it was at TIFF. I'm not sure. But it really is a disgusting film. But I have to mention that. Also, one that nobody mentions, I enjoyed because of the Euro horror feel to it, was A Cure for Wellness. Came out in February of this year. I know many people didn't like it. I enjoyed it because it had a nice Euro horror feel to it. And so I thought it was worth a watch because, again, it was someone doing something a little bit different, and I couldn't believe I was watching a film like that in theaters. It would usually go to direct-to-video. So I enjoyed A Cure for Wellness quite a bit. Stuck with me for a long time. I saw Killing of a Sacred Deer is another honorable mention. weird, odd film that I think needs multiple watches to check out and see what's going on. And I love the silence from everybody here.
No, I've seen it. I really liked it.
Killing of a Sacred Deer. Yeah, it's not one for the masses, that's for sure. But it's one that I recently watched, and it stuck with me a bit. I was like, wow, this is good. I like films.
So I mean, that and The Lobster. The Lobster was the last film he did. I really like The Lobster too.
And I just actually came tonight from All the Money in the World. It's an honorable mention. Christopher Plummer. I couldn't actually imagine Spacey in that role, because once I saw Plummer, I'm like, holy crap, he was awesome in it.
Is that good?
Yeah. I mean, he makes the film. I mean, the rest of the film is kind of about, a kidnapping, and you kind of know the outcome, but watching his performance in there, he is just a guy you just love to not like at all. But I thought he was great. I thought they did well with the, shooting in the scenes. There's only one scene that I noticed where it looked like they had to composite him in. They had to composite him in on. Other than that, it looks like, all the rest of the scenes, it fits right into the film. It doesn't feel like it was suddenly inserted at all. So I enjoyed it quite a bit, namely for his performance, though. And other honorable mentions are just the two superhero films, which are on people's lists, which is Spider-Man Homecoming and Logan. Both I really enjoyed. They were still highest rated by me for this year, but I did see a lot of films that just struck me so much more, which, again, part of this list is more stuff that films that really stuck with me than not just ones that I thought were really good. So those are my honorable mentions. There's some others as well, because we had really good and really bad films this year. So I'll go with the list. I just threw this together quickly, so you'll have to bear. I apologize, but number 10 was Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, that I already mentioned. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, come on. But then when I went to see in the theater, I actually went back and took my kids to see it, and they actually enjoyed it as well. I liked the update, the chemistry, as we have all mentioned before. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Number 9, everybody's going to throw tomatoes at me, and that's fine. I fully expect it. I enjoyed The Greatest Showman.
Okay, I'm seeing it soon. So
I am a sucker for musicals. It's a musical first. It's not really meant to be a biopic, and I think if people go in expecting it to be more of a biopic about P.D. Barnum, you're going to get disappointed. While it is about him, it is really a musical first. While I didn't quite care for La La Land last year, and I think the hype killed La La Land for me quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
La La Land is amazing.
La La Land is pretty good.
The lyricist who wrote the songs for La La Land wrote them for The Greatest Showman, and those songs stuck with me a lot. That with the choreography.
Chris destroyed that movie.
and the choreography in The Greatest Showman also is just sharp, and it catches you. And the story in there is decent as well. You don't have a lot of depth that some people might want, but for me, old school musicals, if you watched them, not all of them had really deep characters, but the musical performances is why you watch it, and that's what The Greatest Showman is. If you watch this for the visual performance, and everybody does well. Who thought Hugh Jackman could sing and dance, but he does fantastic.
Well, Hugh Jackman, what about play actor first?
He actually, say something. He actually sang and danced at he hosted the Oscars one point.
Yeah. He had to sing and dance for the Oscars.
It was great.
Yeah, he was great, but I mean, everybody still kind of pictures him as Wolverine first, but he was fantastic in this.
Well, I mean, he was in another musical, Les Mis.
Wait, Mr. Rob.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. And I got to give
I actually like that movie. The movie's pretty good. The only bad news. What's it called? Might not can sing everything I know. I think you're great at that movie.
Yeah. And I got to do a shout out to Keela Settle, who plays Letty Lutz, the bearded lady. She sings the main song you heard in the trailer, which is "This Is Me," and her voice is fantastic in it. And I'm a sucker for musicals, so Greatest Showman came in at number 8. I took a lot of flack for that one from some other people, but I dug it quite a bit, and still.
Didn't Greatest Showman get destroyed by critics? Destroyed that movie.
Yeah, people are destroying it as well, and there's some people that really love it if they go see it. I think word of mouth is getting better. for the audience reaction to
It
it.
was nominated for Best Picture at the Golden Globes.
Huh?
It was
Wait,
nominated-
what? It won better Golden Globes. I
No,
know
it was,
that.
not, it was
Because
nominated.
it's the only musical. So
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't get
Wow.
we don't get many musicals, and some modern musicals are fantastic. Some of them not so
Some
much.
are awful.
This one, I was just impressed by the talent of everybody involved, and it reminded me of old school musicals. So I think it's definitely worth a watch on the big screen. If nothing else, the production design and the camera work on it is fantastic. And if you watch it on the big screen, it's really an experience. I didn't get a chance to see IMAX because where I live in Cow Hump, Wisconsin, we don't have the nearest IMAX is like 2 hours away. So
2 hours?
Is that near Fargo? Which I know is in Minnesota. I know.
I live 30 miles from a town that its biggest claim to fame is the exact geographic center of Wisconsin. I only live 30 miles away from it. So yeah, okay. So my choices sometimes are a bit limited.
You're in Fargo.
Yeah, Fargo is probably a bigger city than
I'll go.
Number 7 would be Three Billboards. I enjoyed this quite a bit overall. Woody Harrelson, this is a great year for him, in all honesty. And
Yeah, he's getting Wolf Planet Apes.
I think people still see him, those who grew up during that time, still see him as Woody from Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
But I've loved him in almost every film he's done, especially the darker roles that he takes.
Agreed.
And this isn't a dark role at all.
What else in Hunger Games? He's in Hunger Games, right?
Yeah, he was in Hunger Games, which I didn't, when I read the book, I didn't think they would cast him as first, but once I saw him perform it, I
perfect.
it. And in here, he doesn't play a bad guy, but I just loved his sheriff in Three Billboards. I thought his performance was really well done and great layers to it about this guy who really is sympathetic to her cause, but at the same time, he's just like, it's just not in the cards, so Three Billboards has that. Number we would be at 6 would be Baby Driver. And
Yes.
The reason Baby Driver's in there the most is the story itself. You can go kind of basic, but it's the editing.
Right.
The
Yeah,
sheer-
Danny's perfect.
the sheer craft of the editing with the music is phenomenal. And it's not just the driving, it's him walking, it's him tapping, it's him getting coffee.
Yeah.
Everything is in sync with the music. Everything he does, whenever the song plays.
One more job and I'm done.
And I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know a number of people, it didn't sit well for me, though. I loved it, but I love music, and if you gathered that. So for me, that was a big part of it as well. And
Same.
going into the film, knowing absolutely nothing about it, outside of one or two trailers, I'm like, okay, you know what? This surprised me. So that's where that is.
Same.
Number 5, yep, people can throw more eggs at Star Wars The Last Jedi. I'm the old man here.
Mentions.
I saw Star Wars. I saw Star Wars when I was 2.5 years old in the theater. That's how old I am. Thank you. You can hear my arteries harden. It's always been with me. I never really got into the expanded universe. It was only within the context of the films. And for me, I came out of Last Jedi, and let me tell you, the theater experience alone. I went Thursday night when it premiered.
Nice.
And when it premiered, first showing in town, it's the first time I had a theater of 300 people in today's modern age with phones and everything completely go dead silent when the Lucasfilm logo came up. When that Lucasfilm logo came up, it went dead silent. I mean, you could hear the fans from the heater. Everybody waited for the blare of the Star Wars horn. And I was like, wow, okay. And the film, it took turns. There was scenes, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a perfect film, but I love the changes they made.
I think that was trying to interrupt, Mark, but I think there was somewhat with Finn and Rose. I think that was unnecessary.
Maybe for me it's because I'm a cranky old guy sometimes, but I actually liked the direction they took with Luke, not just because it wasn't, even though everybody wanted him to be the big hero, whatnot, and everything.
Yeah,
I liked it because if you pay attention to the way the Jedis are, I can understand the motivation, and it really, I think, actually worked with his character. And And I think people are missing that. They're like, oh, he wanted him to be a hero. I'm like, not really. I'm like, if you just took the original trilogy and you didn't see the prequels, okay, I can buy into that more. But since the prequels are part of it, you look how the Jedi acted in the prequels. It made some sense of where he ended up going with it. And just in my opinion, I know a lot of people hate it, and I can see the reasons why. But for me, Last Jedi, I saw it twice in the theater. I dug it quite a bit. I dug the changes, and what I like is we have no idea where they're going to go with the third one.
Well, we got Han Solo coming out next year.
I think people are fanboy raging now over this film. If you think that's bad, wait till the Han Solo film comes out.
That's why I just said Han Solo looks awful. Bad.
People better duck and probably want to, turn off the social media for a while when the Han Solo film comes out, because I suspect that there's going to be more outrage because they're playing with a character that is beloved by many, many Star Wars fans. And if they don't get that right, which they probably won't, in all honesty,
they won't. The director they left.
Well, I shouldn't say they won't.
They were fired.
Yeah.
No, they got fired.
I won't say that they won't get it right. It won't be the way people expect.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I'll move on. Sorry. Number 4 was Wonder Woman. Was blown away. Enjoyed it a lot. I saw that one twice as well. And really enjoy, Gal Gadot. When I heard that she was going to play Wonder Woman at first, I'm like, but then she turned out to be one of the best, if not the best reason in Batman v Superman, which in all honesty, I enjoyed. Yeah, go ahead, hit me. But she was still my favorite part of that. And then seeing her in her own standalone film, yeah, I loved it.
Same.
Number 3 was Blade Runner 2049. Just like everybody already said, phenomenal, fit right in with the first one. If it doesn't win for cinematography, I think its closest competition is Dunkirk, which for me, I wasn't that impressed, but I honestly think hype killed Dunkirk for me quite a bit. But still, he was fantastic. Visuals, the music alone fits right in. Didn't think they would be able to capture that, and I think they exceeded it. And I love the director as well, and he still astounds me. Number 2 was Get Out. Loved Get Out. Any top of these 3 could be interchanged. Get Out is, what you all said. It turned the modern horror film on its heels a bit. It was a lot better than what you would think coming from half of, Key and Peele. But when you see interviews, you realize he's a completely horror nerd. I mean, the guy knows tons about horror films. And you can tell in Get Out, it was impressive. And number 1, and reason it's number 1 is because it was so controversial, so divisive.
Oh, boy.
Everybody has gotten something different out of this film.
Mother.
Love it or hate it, I loved Mother.
Oh, what?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, God. Wait till you remind me of my worst movie in 2017.
Well, I imagine it's on a lot of people's worst movies, and that's fine. I total mad respect for that. I could see why. Again, as I opened with this, and I'm sorry if I went a little long, but I opened with this, is I like films that push the edge, like they do something different, and this film was, and I didn't think I'd ever see a film like this on the big screen. I'm sitting there going, wow, I can't believe they had the balls to wide release this, knowing this film was going to get the reaction it did. But that's the thing, good or bad, the filmmaker got a reaction out of you, which is what he was going for. And I think people might miss that. He did not make this film to entertain. This film is to get people either pissed off or enjoy. You're supposed to get something different out of it. And the reason so many flocked to it was like, oh, it's got Jennifer Lawrence. Oh, she was in Hunger Games. Yeah. And then they go, and they went there going, holy, what the hell?
What the hell is this crap?
And I loved that. So I think Mother is, out of all the films and stuff you get, Mother is going to be one of those, though, that gets talked about years later. As much as we enjoy some of these other films and as much entertaining they are, I think Mother is one that I know is going to be in some college film course down the road and studied and looked at, because everyone that I know has gotten something different from the film, besides just hating it, some people interpreted it this way, some this way, some took it a completely different direction I didn't even think of. And that's what I loved about it, and why it's on my top of my list, is because this is what I want from film. I want film to be something different, because we get so much of the same, that something like this actually gets wide release and gets the reaction it does. You know, the filmmakers sitting there going, yep, it was a success. I don't care if people hate it. They got a reaction out of it. You know, they got
a bomb. It bombed.
Oh yeah, it bombed. Oh yeah, because it offended people.
Yep.
You know? But the fact that it got wide release, I didn't think I'd ever see it on the big screen. I figured it would go, you know, to limited release and then
the video.
Yeah. And the fact that I got to see it, yeah, you know, I dug it. And for me, it's what I look for in cinema. I love films that do something different, and the fact we had it on wide release is surprising. So I know it's going to be on a lot of people's worst list, and that's cool.
Oh boy,
that's my list there, Max. Thanks.
All right. I have not seen Mother yet.
I did.
No,
boy, you're going to be laying my moves.
I hope I didn't go too long. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. It's Christmas vacation still. New Year's Eve is tomorrow. It's so fine.
We didn't go that late. It's not the New Year yet, so
no,
not yet.
Well, I think it is in Australia.
All right, Sean, why don't you give your list, and then I'll go last.
Me?
Okay.
Yeah. Go.
Can you hear me? Because
Yes.
in my mic it doesn't.
Yeah. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so I just want to clear out. I didn't saw Dunkirk or The Disaster Artist, Mother. What's the other one? The Shape of Water. Like
Shape of Water,
all of my college stuff happening. Like I didn't have time, but I still saw a good amount of movies to make a top 10. So let's start off with number 10, one that no one talked about yet. Max, you told me to like watch it, and I didn't want to do it, but I've watched it because I thought it was gonna be bad, but it was pretty good for a animated movie, which is Lego Batman.
Yes.
That movie is amazing. That movie's a fun
Yes.
element.
Yes.
So Lego Batman, like for me, like it's a movie for kids, so I thought I wasn't going to like it because I'm a 19-year-old and I was like, oh, it's not my type of movie, but I really enjoyed it. It's really funny, gives a good message to kids watching about
And those two.
and it's just I was really impressed and surprised that it was really a good movie for a Lego movie, which I thought wasn't going to be great. And yeah, that's my number 10.
And the Lego movie was fantastic. But this movie was too. They first one you got at the trilogy with Ninjago movie. I didn't see that one. I heard that one. Not that great.
Ninjago was decent. It wasn't great. It wasn't great like Batman and Lego movie, but it was decent.
Yeah. And number 9, another one that no one mentioned, is Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
I mentioned him. I mentioned. I love that movie. It was awesome.
It was a great movie. Like a lot of people close to me said, "Oh, it's more of a comedy movie than a superhero movie," which is kind of true, but it's still a good movie. I really enjoyed it. It's really a funny superhero movie to watch, and I just loved everything about it. Probably my favorite one of the franchise of the Thor. First one didn't really like it. Second one was horrible, but Thor Ragnarok was really great and one of the best Marvel movies of the year. And it's just I love superhero movies, and that was a great one. Also, number 10, another superhero movie, which is Spider-Man Homecoming. Like, I'm the type of person that's like, oh no, Tobey Maguire is like the only good Spider-Man. I didn't watch The Amazing Spider-Man because of that.
It's a waste of time.
But I have watched Spider-Man Homecoming, and I was really impressed. One of the best ones of all the Spider-Mans that I've watched. Tom Holland is just a great Spider-Man. Also, Michael Keaton, a great villain. It's just a really good movie. And it's just, I liked that someone being Spider-Man that is not Tobey Maguire is good at it, and it's a young kid. And Spider-Man, I think, in the Avengers is a teenager, so that fits well. And I just can't wait for the new one and when he's coming in the Avengers Infinity Warfare.
Yep,
I think.
Infinity War.
And number 7, one that no one mentioned, is Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Oh yeah, that did come out. I completely forgot about that. Holy shit.
Nice, nice choice.
I'm not really a fan of Disney princesses, but this one was really good. Emma Watson singing, like, that's the only part that I didn't like. Like, I don't know if it's auto-tune or something like that.
I think she's a fine singer.
But yeah, I just love that it looked a lot like the cartoon version, the animated one. Like, everything was like super similar, and I like that Gaston, I think, was a gay character also.
No, it was actually LeFou.
Oh,
You have to a food game, not just on. You got to carry
not
myself.
Gaston.
It was Josh Gad. Josh Gad was the gay character.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Gad.
And it was just, I really like that Disney are trying to make animation movies into real life with the Beauty and the Beast one.
Personally, I think
like-
they need to stop. Because Lion King is one I'm against.
Yeah. Tell you, don't rant on the Lion King, please.
No, I love the anime movie. Just the live action, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. All right, continue.
So yeah, Emma Watson, that's the only part that I didn't like. And also Belle, I think, is French. Why did they cast a British person to play a French lady? Which I don't get. But anyways, still a good movie. My number 6 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes!
No one mentioned it. I don't remember.
I did. I think I mentioned
okay,
it.
sorry. It was really a great movie. Like, the first one, I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite Marvel movies. I'm a Marvel fanboy, but I didn't know about Guardians of the Galaxy. But the
Same.
second one, like, I really liked it more than the first one because I already knew the stories about the characters and the chemistry, and it was just also is it Echo, the villain?
No. It's Ego. Ego, the living planet.
Ego.
Ego was
Ego,
one of the
living
best villains with Michael Keaton this year in superhero movies.
I agree with that. Next to Hela.
Just like he creates planets, I think.
Yeah.
And
You have to living planet.
yeah, and it's just insane. Like, just I didn't think he was going to be a villain, and like it just shocked me. And what's his name? I don't even remember his name.
Kurt Russell and Ego.
Kurt Russell, yeah. Kurt Russell was really amazing in that movie, and Guardians of the Galaxy is like on my favorite Marvel movies. So now I'm gonna move on to my top 5. I saw this one last night, Blade Runner 2049.
Nice.
Like you all said, like, the cinematography was beautiful, and it's just, I didn't see a sci-fi movie in a long time that the story was just so weird and different. Like, Ryan Gosling, his character, discovers that he's a human, and I think they kill humans, or they
Well,
or
they kill replicants. Basically.
yeah, or they never saw a tree. Like, it's just crazy to think, and it was a beautiful movie, and it kind of scared me for the future. It was like, it could happen, but I doubt it. Whoa. But this movie was really, like, I was surprised. It's too long in my opinion, but it's just a movie that, like, it shocked me that this happened, and I don't know, it's just a beautiful movie to watch, and I really enjoyed it. And shout out to Denis Villeneuve. Number 4 is Logan.
Yay.
Logan is a good movie, but not the best this year. It's just, I don't know, Patrick Stewart cursing all the time, like not a fan of that, but it was one of the best Hugh Jackman as Wolverine movie that I've saw. And
It's way better than X-Men Origins, this damn show.
yeah, and it's just the violence and the action in it was just so amazing, and the story was incredible, and the end, like I almost cried at the end, and it's just I don't know what to say about this movie. To be honest, it's just great. But yeah, I don't have much to say. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
It's okay, continue.
Number 3 is It, the Stephen King book.
I love it. That remake was awesome.
You loved it.
Yeah, It, cela, It. The casting was like, it was I like the casting a lot. Like, I'm a big Stranger Things fan, and it had the same vibe. I think it was filmed at the same places. And yeah, it's just Stranger Things with this movie is just great for me. And you could see, like, I really like the kids acting when they saw Pennywise. You could see the horror in their eyes. Like, it's just, they have a talent at this young age, and just seeing that horror and their just acting was incredible to watch. And Pennywise was scary. It's not a movie that it has a lot of jump scares. I know a lot of people didn't like it because they weren't like scared, like there weren't jump scares, but it's a really
I tend to disagree. I think the movie was very scary, creepy. Pennywise was scary all hell.
Like, it's a real horror film. Like, there's horror in the movie. Like, it's not jump scares like Paranormal Activity or
Oh good God, don't mind me.
But
The movies.
it was really like horror, and you could see every kid's fear into the movie, and
Yes.
it's just
Yep.
I was mind blown by the performance of the kids in that movie. And moving on to number 2 is Get Out,
Get out.
Get
one of
out.
the best movies of the year.
Yep.
Like, you watch it a second time, like, I don't want to spoil it, but when you watch it more and more, like, it's better and better each time you watch it, because you know what the characters were doing in the beginning when it goes to the end. Like, it's just like, I don't know what to say about this movie. It's about racism, I think, and just like, it's one of the movies that I watched and I said, wow, like, it's an original idea. Like, it's been a long time since a movie came out and it was something new and different, and I like that a lot. Like, you see the Fast and Furious, it's like car chases and all that. Superheroes movies are almost the same, but Get Out was just completely different and changed the game and set the bar high in this year's movies, and I hope it gets nominated at the Oscars. It deserves it with the screenplay, and yeah, I just really liked the story and the originality. And my number 1 movie is Baby Driver. Baby Driver,
Yes.
like, Edgar Wright, I love Shaun of the Dead. Like, I really love that movie, and I didn't know he made Baby Driver until I went to the theaters. It's also a movie that I didn't really watch the trailers, and I was really blown away. Like, I've been to music school in high school, and just seeing how he worked with the tempo in the movie, like, I watched the behind the scenes, and they had to like film at the exact same time as the tempo in every song that they put in the movie. And also, yes, Kevin Spacey made controversy in that, not in that movie, but this year with the allegations. But he really had a great performance in Baby Driver. Like, I really liked it. I liked his character, but I don't like him as a person. But he was good in that movie, and just every detail, like when you see Ansel Elgort baby walking in the beginning with his music, you could see lyrics of songs like hidden in the movie, like in some walls, on the ground, windows. You could see that. Just the scene with the coffee was great, and just it related to me like La La Land with the music, and it's just music and movies together. It's just the best of both worlds for me, and that's why it's my #1 movie.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do my best of the year.
Okay.
I'm gonna do 5 honorable mentions real quick. Okay, very quickly. Lego Batman movie, amazing. Just probably the best of the DC movies we have gotten this year.
Yeah.
Kong Skull Island.
Nice.
No one mentioned it. I fucking love this movie. It's
Oh
this
yeah,
sort
I
of,
completely forgot about that movie.
it's
Shit.
this sort of B movie tribute to Kong. It's such an amazing film.
Put the after credit scene. See,
Yes.
Kong is Godzilla.
Yes, absolutely. All right,
Awesome.
Beauty and the Beast. I saw this on a big ass IMAX screen. I had the chills the entire time. It was beautiful. Alien Covenant. Ridley Scott is motherfucking genius. This movie, in my opinion, is better than Aliens. Yes, it is better than Aliens. Whatever, go figure. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Kurt Russell plays the best MCU villain we've ever gotten. Okay, moving on. Number 10. I see Dan Skip Allen has one of his posters. It's American Made with Tom Cruise. This is my number 10. It's a great movie. Doug Liman and I'm trying to keep my voice down because my parents are sleeping. Whatever. All right. Doug Liman and Tom Cruise are back after Edge of Tomorrow, and this is a fun, fast-paced biopic on Barry Seal that I absolutely loved from beginning to end. So much worth seeing on a big IMAX screen, in my opinion. Okay, moving on. Number 9, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Best Spider-Man movie ever. I'm gonna say it. I liked the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. I really liked Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 3 is a piece of fucking garbage. The Amazing Spider-Man was okay. It's okay. I mean, it's fine. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, okay. But Spider-Man: Homecoming is amazing. Michael Keaton gives one of the best performances of his career, putting Birdman and Batman, combining them together. There's a great scene in the car. It's just, oh my god, it's so good. The action scenes are pure Spider-Man action scenes. Finally, we get to see real Spider-Man, a grounded to reality in action. This sort of John Hughes coming of age comedy that I really like. Number 8, Dunkirk. It's not Christopher Nolan's best movie, by all means. I think, in my opinion, it's Interstellar, but whatever. I loved Dunkirk. I saw this in IMAX theater. There was no one, which was very surprising. But the sound, the picture, everything about it made me feel like I was there. I was freaking like scratching the goddamn seat because it was on the edge of my seat the entire time. We don't know anything about the characters. We don't know anything about the backstory of it all. It's war. Bang. Dunkirk. We are looking at 3 points of view for 100 minutes, and that's it. It's a fantastic movie. It's an exercise, but it's a great exercise by Christopher Nolan. Number 7.
What I say now?
Andy Muschietti's It. Bill Skarsgård. I'm sorry, no one talks about it, but I wish that he would get an Oscar nomination.
Same. I wish so too. Because he had to kill that Pennywise.
Exactly. He was terrifying, and I mean that. If it wasn't for those stupid teenagers that kept talking and were ruining the experience of the movie, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But fuck me, man, it was scary.
Goddamn teenagers who won't shut up.
Yeah, it was scary. It reminded me of the Goonies. It reminded me a lot of the Goonies, especially Finn Wolfhard. and
Yep.
Jamie Lee
I agree with
Curtis,
that 100%.
who are amazing.
Well, it's rated R. That's the even more shocking part.
Yeah, I mean it's rated R, but
And thank God for it.
Bill Skarsgård is so good at this. There's this amazing scene where he just walks out of the refrigerator.
Yeah, that freaked me out.
But
But the thing we know with the projector. Oh
Yeah.
my God, the projector was so freaky.
the scene where he just comes out of the refrigerator is just it's
Yeah.
insane. It's so good, and I was hooked from the very beginning to the very end. Bravo. Okay, number 6. No one mentioned, which is it's surprising. No one mentioned that movie. It's it's probably the most underrated movie of the year. It's called Only the Brave, with Miles Teller, Jeff Bridges. Who else?
Why have I heard that movie
Josh
before?
Brolin.
Firefighter movie.
It's
Oh yeah, I saw a trailer for that.
it's
Yeah,
amazing.
forest fires.
It is amazing. It packs an emotional punch. The ending, I left the theater. I was like, oh my God, I was shaking. I just couldn't believe what was happening. It's a great slow build-up kind of movie, but it left me in one of the most depressed states after just walking out of the movie. Just I felt so depressed. I just couldn't believe that this actually happened. It is an amazing movie. Joseph Kosinski, who directed 2 movies, Tron Legacy, which I liked. Some
I
people
love
didn't.
John Legacy. John Legacy
like-
is awesome.
Oblivion, which was a complete piece of fucking garbage.
Yeah, Oblivion made no sense. The ending that pissed me off. Like, what
Oblivion
the
is
hell?
fucking terrible. But this
Which movie?
Oblivion, Tom Cruise.
Oblivion with Tom Cruise.
I
It's basically
like
about this
That
guy.
sucks.
I like Oblivion. I'll defend it.
I
And
thought
I'm
it
with
was
you.
disappointing.
finally, this movie, he made something that's truly amazing. No one is talking about this movie, but they should. It's just an amazing film that I wasn't expecting anything, and what I got was this beautiful tribute to the Granite Mountain Hot Shots. It's a wonderful movie. All right, top 5. Number 5, Blade Runner 2049, aka the best IMAX experience of the year. If Roger Deakins does not win an Oscar for best cinematography, I am going
To explode rage.
I am going to freaking take a pillow and scream like Tevye.
Yeah.
But this movie is so beautiful to look at. It's so beautiful to hear. The score from Hans Zimmer is so good. The cinematography is amazing. Every shot is a work of art from Roger Deakins, and Ryan Gosling's great. The limited screen, I really didn't mind that Harrison Ford didn't have that much screen time, but because the story was that captivating.
Yeah, the story was great.
It's a little long, 163 minutes, but it pays off. It's so good. Okay, number 4. Remember me. Don't let it make you cry. Remember me. That's Coco.
Coco.
I saw this movie twice, like I've said before. I saw it once in 3D. The other one was in IMAX. Before I start talking about Coco, that Frozen short was insufferable.
Yeah.
Just
The first one was awful. I gotta agree with my sister and
just insufferable. But Coco is one of the most emotionally draining films I've seen this year. It is absolutely beautiful to look at. The animation is so beautiful. It's a creative, imaginative film that it just
actually has heart to it.
it has a lot of heart to it. Yes, absolutely. And the finale, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the plot twist mid near the end of the movie, I just did not expect it, and I also did not expect Pixar to go a little bit farther with. I did not expect it to go a little bit farther. What I mean is that it's very mature. For a children's movie, it is extremely mature. It deals a lot with very serious themes, and it can be a little risky.
It had to do kind of with death. It had to do with the content of death.
Not just that, but let's not spoil it. But it can be a little risky tackling one particular subject matter. But it's still a very, very great movie. Great songs.
Mm-hmm.
If Remember Me does not win the Oscar for Best Original Song, I write. Okay. Top
Wait.
3. The Shape of Water, number 3. I saw this movie today. It is amazing. Sally Hawkins. I said this on my Facebook. I said Sally Hawkins, Oscar. I walked out of the movie. I did a Stardust reaction. I'm gonna upload it later. I just said Sally Hawkins, Oscar, 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 Oscar. She needs to get that Oscar. It's like that's it. I don't need to say anything else. Michael Shannon is so good in this. He keeps sucking on that candy.
Yeah.
He keeps popping those painkillers.
You're speaking Russian, Bob.
yes, Bob was a great character.
Yeah.
But it's a great, beautiful, moving film that is beautifully shot. It feels almost like it's staged like a play.
Yeah, it is.
With the camera movements, it reminded me a lot of the film called "The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover," which was a terrible film. Which is a terrible movie. I'm sorry.
What movie was that? I think I'm not sure, but years ago. I think
it reminded me a lot of this movie, the way that it was shot. It's a movie that has a lot going for it. It's a fantasy film. It's a gothic romance. It's a creature feature. It's a romantic movie. It's also a communist propaganda film.
Yeah, it's a Cold War movie. Well,
yeah, Cold War movie. There's a lot of things going for it, but Guillermo del Toro manages to mix every single genre.
That's it. Do you have it? No.
And do it very well. Okay, number 2, Disaster Artist. The movie begins and you see James Franco sitting down and saying Estelle, and just that I knew that I knew that this movie was going to be amazing, and then they're in the car and they're singing "Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Let You Down, Never Gonna Run Around and Desert You," and I knew that this is a great movie. This is a fantastic movie. And then they start making the room. The last hour of the movie is them making the room, and it's so good. There's this great reenactment scene. It's just so good. Okay, now I do kill part. Okay, I need countdown. Okay, 3, 2, 1, bang. It's so good, man. This movie is. Yeah. It shows the dark side of Tommy Wiseau. He's a little twisted in the book. They talked about how twisted he was and how just it's a great character study. And I really want James Franco to win the Oscar for Best Actor. He should absolutely win the Oscar for Best Actor. He completely transformed himself. There's this finale. The movie, it's the room. They show the room and they recreate the room, and some of the scenes are so well recreated and so
I've been getting credit that actually showed the comparison.
Yes, but not. I'm talking about the room premiere, where you see something.
Oh,
that I'm talking about that. They recreate so well the rhythm and the editing of that movie. It's amazing. Okay, I told you guys that my number 1 was going to be controversial. All right, it's not the Emoji Movie. It's not Transformers. Okay, I'm okay.
Yeah, they're really awful.
No movie this year has made me feel like a 9-year-old kid. Has made me feel like when I found the joy of just watching a movie. And this movie, out of all the movies that I've seen this year, is the best one that I've seen. Okay, ready? Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Nice pick.
Dan's leaving now.
Yes, now Dan.
He's out.
Whatever you say about the Star Wars fans are some of the worst people on the internet, thinking that they're gonna see the movie that they want to see. Who gives a shit, right? This is what Rian Johnson said. Who is Supreme Leader Snoke? Who cares? Who cares?
Who cares?
I'm making my own movie, and I don't give a shit about what you think.
So F you.
This movie, I did not like the trailers. I really didn't like any of the trailers. I thought, okay, well, this is pretty much.
I'm not mad to it for a trailer. We're gonna give it nothing.
Yeah, but no, I don't. Like, okay, this is pretty much more of the same. It looks fine. It doesn't look great. Going through the movie, this is incredible action scene at the beginning. And I'm like, okay, oh no, this movie is gonna be something special. And then some things happen near the half of the movie that just like solidify my love for this movie. It is a real ballsy, risky sort of movie, and you cannot evolve a franchise if you keep doing the same thing over.
You doom yourself to repeat yourself.
For example, The Fast and the Furious. This franchise right now, it needs to go in another direction. If not, it's gonna suck. It's gonna start sucking again. But Star Wars, it has this movie made some ballsy decisions, but it's got sweeping action scenes, amazing cinematography, great score by John Williams.
Anyway, when that team out was awesome, I love that moment.
Kylo Ren is the best Star Wars villain of all time, because I'm going to give a reason to it. The prequels ruin Darth Vader's arc. I cannot unsee Darth Vader.
Oh, there's the Clone Wars, TV show.
Are you an angel?
When I see little Hayden Christensen saying, "I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating."
To be fair, the Clone Wars TV show after the Anakin a lot more better.
I can't fucking take Darth Vader seriously when I have the image of Hayden Christensen saying that he doesn't like sand, or Jake Lloyd talking to Padme being like, "Are you an angel?"
Oh,
He's holding me back.
Yes.
To be fair, Clone Wars and Anakin
I
a
hate
lot
them.
more interesting. Like, watch the Clone Wars TV show.
Yes, the Clone Wars TV show is good. It's very good. All right. That's my top 10 bests. Now, since I was last for the best, I'm going to start with my worst list, if that's okay.
Okay.
No.
All
Well,
right.
I need to go soon, so
Okay.
Do Steve, dude, and then we'll do
All
you,
right,
Max.
Steve,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just gonna run through mine real quick.
All right,
Okay.
I'll start. I don't go out of my way to watch every movie, so a lot of mine are disappointing movies.
Okay.
And then some of them are shit boxes. So disappointments. Free Fire, I thought was going to be a lot better. You know, I really wanted that, but the characters were all very one-dimensional. I think the only character I really liked in that movie was probably Armie Hammer's character. That was it. Everybody else is kind of like, eh. Life, Danny Espinosa. I thought this was going to maybe be interesting with the cast, Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds, and just a great cast. But it was very much basically an alien movie. I mean, it was just a repeat of something we'd seen before. The Circle with Emma Watson, and John Boyega and Tom Hanks, and this movie wasted its premise. Like it had an interesting idea, but it wasted it. Another one, Dark Tower. The Dark Tower was something, I don't know what they were trying to do. They were trying to cram something that had such a big concept into it in 90 minutes, and it was disappointing.
Awful.
Going into some shit, but Pirates, the last Pirates movie, the newest Pirates movie. Who gives a shit? They've made this story has run its course. Let's get away from it. Johnny Depp's just playing the same character, the same stick every time.
It needs to end.
Yeah, it needs to end. Now, shit boxes, Transformers. That's enough. I just say Transformers. Fist Fight with Ice Cube at the beginning of the year.
See that.
This movie. I remember I got like a special screening free pass to see it. I was like, I'll go check it out. It might be fun. No, this movie's so stupid. It has no point to it. Geostorm, which if you go see the movie,
I didn't see that one.
which I went into the movie knowing it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
It still wasn't good. I still, even knowing it was going to be bad, I still couldn't have fun with it. Another one that really, like, I honestly, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even finish the movie because I was so disappointed with it, and like it was annoying me so much, and that was All Eyes on Me. The Tupac movie.
I didn't see that one.
The movie, I mean, the only thing redeeming about it is the guy playing Tupac. But other than that, it's like a TV movie. And they cannot stay in one, like they keep going back from flashback to flash forward, flashback. They cannot stay in one scene for more than 5 minutes without flashing to another time period. So that pissed me off. And the worst movie, the movie I hated the most this past year was Triple X. The
Oh
Return
yeah,
of Xander Cage.
Xander Cage.
This
The
movie
first
is
movie.
it's some of the stupidest things I've ever seen. Vin Diesel thinks he's funny and he's not funny. He literally does a scene where he's like trying to dance and he's like, ooh, ooh, you know, like robot thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? He skateboards off of a bus, like shit like that. I'm like, God. That movie just pissed me off. But that's my worsts of the year. I'm sure there was other bad ones like Emoji Movie that I did not see. I know it's your favorite, Max, but I'm sure that's bad too. But that's the one I don't go see bad. If movies look bad, I don't go see them. I don't waste my money.
I do. So, I waste my money.
Well, I mean, there's certain ones that I get curious about, and I'll check them out later. But I won't go see them in theaters. So, but that's my list, and I do want to because I'm leaving. I want to say thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun talking movies with you guys, and till next time.
Thanks.
See you, man.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Steve.
guys.
See you, Steven.
All right.
Have a good one, dude.
All right, but
Peace.
he left, but Triple X was fucking awesome. I'm sorry. That movie is so much. It's so dumb. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
The first movie, in my opinion, was doing
So
good.
much
The
fun.
movie, in my opinion. The sequel, the second one was not that great. The first one was awful.
No. Okay, I'm just gonna go through my worst list very quickly. I have a couple of dishonorable mentions. Monster Trucks. Who would have thought this movie was a complete disaster? I mean,
Wasn't that movie filmed maybe like 2 years ago?
Ghost in the Shell. What
Shell.
a fucking
Worst
God,
choice.
this is-
It's my worst choice.
Ghost in the Shell is a fucking disaster. The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature. That movie is a fucking
Oh, how the fuck did that get a sequel?
yes. It's a
Nutty.
good sequel. The Great Wall, directed by Donald Trump.
Wall was bad.
Fake propaganda.
Wait. Great Wall came out this year?
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Yeah, March or something.
No, that was like a February. Yeah,
I
February.
actually like that movie.
February, March.
I don't know
I
if this.
love that movie. I thought it was really fun.
I don't know if this is technically a movie, but I saw this in theaters. It's the IMAX Inhumans thing.
Fuck that.
Oh,
I saw it on Peters too. I
The
hate it.
pilot, yeah.
That was the worst goddamn
That
thing.
was
I've seen
awful.
in a
That
movie.
was I understand. I've seen
But,
my life.
But I didn't count them. Okay, number 10 is a Canadian film. It's Bone Cup, Bad Cup 2. Oh my god! This movie is it's annoying. It's vile. It is unfunny, and it. I was into it. I wasn't necessarily into the movie until they revealed that one of the characters has ALS, which okay, that's fine. But how the fuck can a character who is paralyzed in both hands can freaking shoot everyone perfectly with a sniper, drive a car around with a bomb in it? Like,
Huh? That doesn't make any sense.
Actually, think that someone with a terminal disease could be doing what freaking John Wick does, and
Mentalité
That's
québécoise.
not bullshit. That's a BS.
and that's like at that moment, I suspended all disbelief I had, and I couldn't buy anything that was going on, because you can't just say I have ALS, but I was able to do everything I did before. And
Okay, it's not my role. Okay, you better get. I can drive a car. I can bump like what?
yeah,
That's
not to mention the
like
fact that the movie is just terribly unfunny. It's overlong, and it's
How long
so
is it?
uncomfortable to watch. And the first one was really funny. It was really great, and they completely oh god, this movie is so fucking horrible. They completely missed the point that the first film had. The first film, it's a funny concept. It's an Ontarian cop working with a Quebec cop, and it's like they go back and forth in French and English. It's funny. It's fun. This movie is just unnecessarily. It's like 2 hours and 13 minutes long. It's really freaking long, and it's boring. It's really really boring. Okay, number 9, Jigsaw.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the 8th Saw movie. I still believe
watched
this.
the Saw movies in my. I had a break in college. I watched all the Saw movies. Saw the final chapter is a horrible movie, but
Oh my
I
God,
had
it
so
sucked.
much.
God,
I had
that
so
movie.
much fun with it though that I couldn't wait for the next one. Oh my god, that is this bad? I mean, it nothing makes sense. I don't want to give anything away,
I say go for it because no one's gonna watch the movie
Okay,
anyway.
like if anyone cares, this movie is this elongated flashback apparently.
Huh?
It's so fucking complicated it's so complicated to talk about it. Like at one point, John Kramer is alive, and I was like, wait,
What? That's impossible.
What? He's alive?
We saw him
this
die
movie
in
actually,
three.
no, wait. This movie actually took place 15 years before the original Saw or something.
Huh?
Like that.
How does that make any
Wait,
sense?
wait, what? What the fuck is going on? I was like the final 5 minutes of the movie, I was like, huh? What?
Huh?
What? Are you kidding? What the? What? No! Shut up. Okay. Number 8, Geostorm.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
This movie is the best and worst. The best worst movie I've seen this year is Geostorm. It is hilariously bad. It's so funny. There's this amazing scene where Andy Garcia, Abby Cornish, and what's his name? Jim Sturgis. They're in a taxi cab. They're running away from all the rubble and shit, and then everything falls down. Okay, they're dead. They died. Fine. And then they just magically appear out of nowhere. It's like everything's fine. And then Ed Harris, who's the bad guy of the movie, he's like, "Oh, how did you get out of all that rubble?" And then Andy Garcia brilliantly responds, "Because I'm the goddamn president of the United States of America."
Geostorm, right?
It's so bad, but it's so funny. And it's like I could not believe like the most unrealistic scene in any movie. They had to explain it. They just went with the worst line in a parody movie. Dean Devlin is a parody writer. All right, he's not a good writer. Independence Day. I mean, come on, that's not.
Independence Day was just good. It's the first
No, it's
movie.
an awful
Independence
movie.
Day is not a good movie. It's an awful movie.
The sequel is awful. I hate the
People seem
sequel.
to
The first
like it
one
because
sucks.
Will Smith is in it, but whatever. All right, number 7.
I really like the first film. That's just me.
Number 7 is Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. I saw
That did come on theaters. I didn't get to see it.
I saw this movie a month before it came out. We were actually the first audience to see the film, and Luc Besson was in attendance. It was a great experience. I mean, you got Luc Besson, the director of The Fifth Element. Okay, don't kill me, but The Fifth Element is highly overrated.
Yeah. Get out of here.
But he was there, and he was presenting the movie. I was like, okay, he talked about the movie before, and he made me real pumped for it. I was like, okay, yeah, bring it. The movie starts, and there's this great sequence in space with David Bowie, Space Odyssey. I'm like, okay, yeah, this
Awesome.
is great. And then it sucked. And then
Oh.
right after the opening credits, you see Rutger Hauer, and then you see just this woman, whatever the fuck alien is, and then I just lost it. I was like, oh no, this is gonna suck. And then Valerian and Laureline, they start talking, and I'm like, oh no.
It falls apart, doesn't
Go
it?
back to Space Odyssey. Go back to fucking Space Odyssey. And I was cringing all the time. It was just it was long. It's like 2 hours. Is it like 2 hours and 15 minutes, something like that?
Yeah.
2 hours, 15 minutes?
Yeah, it's a long movie.
It's really long, and it's really boring. And they're on paper. There's a scene where Valerian gets his hand stuck in another dimension.
That sounds awesome.
Wait, Luc Besson talks about it, and I was like, oh my god, that sounds amazing. And you look at like the way that the scene is staged, it's like, okay, that's it. It's like, okay.
Wow. It would cut the way down it. We don't get to see it.
It's a bad film. Okay, number 6 is the first movie I saw in 2017, and it was Underworld: Blood Wars.
Oh god. Wait till you get my list.
Why?
Why?
This movie I loved. Okay, I'm a sucker for big B80s action movies like the Cannon
Same.
Group that I love, and I loved Underworld Awakening because it was this
What?
badass.
I hate that movie. That movie pissed me off.
It was a badass action movie. It was 80 minutes of just pure testosterone-filled action that I loved. This movie isn't. This movie, Underworld: Blood Wars, it's called Blood Wars, but there's no Blood Wars. It's just a big overlong slog with just a cheesy ass villain, and it's just really boring. I was bored by it. I was just so bored by it that I just wanted to walk out. Whatever. Okay, number 5, top 5. Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. I saw this movie on an IMAX 3D screen, huge 70 millimeter screen.
Big mistake.
I had the biggest stomach ache after the camera kept shaking. It kept editing like the jump. Like this movie has the weirdest jump cuts I've ever seen. It keeps cutting all the fucking time. It keeps cutting. Like we're on drugs. Like Paul Thomas. I have suspicion to believe that Paul W.S. Anderson, not Paul Thomas Anderson, Paul W.S. Anderson was on cocaine and speed while
Which
making.
is weird because there are 4 movies
Sure
that
was.
did action to it.
Because
Even though it was a bad movie.
Evil Retribution was a great film. I'm sorry, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But this movie he tried to do too much, and it failed miserably. The plot makes no sense. The acting is just hokey. And yes, he's married to Mila Jovovich. And the action scenes are incomprehensible. You cannot see anything what's going on. You have IMAX, and you also have 3D, and that is just like, it's overwhelming, and I regretted my decision of seeing this movie on an IMAX 3D screen.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't when you found chapter end with Alice not dying, we do the plan Alice was to die in this movie, and then the clone her.
Yeah, I don't really know for sure. But okay, number 4.
Yeah, okay, I know.
Sorry, I took some water. Number 4 is King Arthur: Legend of the Sword.
Oh, I completely forgot the movie. I saw it on demand. It sucked.
This movie is an insult to fucking King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. Guy Ritchie is this big. I'm a big stylish British director. I like to put style in my movies because
Style over substance.
slow motion and fast-paced edits because King Arthur is hip and trendy. No, he's fucking not hip and trendy. You can't do Snatch in King Arthur. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It's boring. The first thing is boring. The action scenes are incomprehensible to look at. Like it's fast-paced, slow motion, lens flares, so much bang, bang, bang. Jude Law is a horrible villain. Charlie Hunnam is just terrible in this.
And I like Guy Ritchie, he's a good director, but yeah, this movie
The
sucked.
director's great. I mean, The Men from U.N.C.L.E. was great, and this movie is just big.
Sherlock Holmes was great. Both movies.
Okay, top 3 now. Number 3, The Emoji. It's not my number 1.
I know.
Not your number 1.
But when I first saw this movie, I was in my summer cottage with my whole family, and it was a big rainy day. And my aunt says, "Why don't we go to the theater to see a movie?" And I have a 9-year-old cousin, and she says, "I want to go see the Emoji Movie." And I was
What?
like, "Oh God!" And I walked out. I fucking walked out after the Emoji was done. I just couldn't. I was like, "No, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm gonna wait outside. I don't fucking care. I'm gonna wait outside. I'm gonna freaking download a Flash game on my cell phone. I'm gonna play on that fucking cell phone until you're done. This movie sucked." And I went to see it with one of my friends after that because I said, I've never walked out of the movie, so I'm gonna freaking man up and watch the whole thing. God, I should have walked out again. This movie is a fucking waste of time. It's nothing but product placement and brand names. It's just oh look, Dropbox. Oh look, YouTube.
Twitter.
Oh look, Twitter. Oh look, Spotify. Oh look, Candy Crush. I know that. Yes, I have a cell phone. Everybody has a fucking cell phone. And if you don't have a cell phone, you at least know what fucking Candy Crush, Just Dance, Dropbox, and YouTube is because we're not done.
Let's stupid is a poop emoji.
Oh God, yes. Patrick Stewart as a poop. Okay, after giving the performance of his career as Charles Xavier in Logan, we can now see Patrick Stewart as the poop emoji. How great is that? Okay. Number 2.
Oh God.
Number 2 is Justice League.
Yeah.
I have never felt this angry walking out of the movie. And we saw this together, Sean.
I even made a vlog about it.
Yes, you did make a vlog about it.
I actually thought it was okay.
But I've never felt this angry just looking at a film, how bad it was. First of all, the CGI is atrociously
Trash.
The acting is wooden. The movie is so fast-paced. Joss Whedon tried to edit it, trimmed it down so it could be lean and mean, but it
There was a plan to be 3 hours long.
There is no time for proper setup, for a proper, good, decent villain. It's just a bunch of shit cut together, phonetically edited like a Michael Bay music video. That's how I described it in my review. It was a Michael Bay music video full of visual noise, idiosyncratic visual noise, the worst CGI. I mean, come on, man. The movie begins, and you see Superman, and you see his face moving when he's not talking because they fucking had to hide his mustache.
Why?
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah, oh, yeah, I know why.
The mustache controversy.
I know
mustache
it's
controversy.
fucking terrible. The villain has no shred of development.
Steppenwolf, even the comic, is not that interesting to begin with. He's more general for
It's
Darkseid.
nothing but stuff edited together in the hopes that maybe this is a movie. It is terrible. And
Yep.
Joss Whedon adds a bunch of sexist jokes targeted to Wonder Woman.
Oh
I
my
don't know, for
Oh
example,
my god.
Flash falling on top of Wonder Woman. Of course, you imagined something that maybe could have happened with the Flash being on top of Wonder Woman. Come on, you are better than this. I mean, really, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I once liked Joss Whedon, but I really don't like him now, and his jokes just make me cringe. It's not funny, okay? It's just not funny. Flash on top of Wonder Woman. How 5-year-old of you, Joss Whedon, to write this and shoehorn this into the movie? I fucking hate this movie. It's a fucking piece of shit.
The thing is about the movie, this movie you can tell it was cut by somebody, Winston and Zack Snyder, and yeah, it's a method in two different styles.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, number one.
Which is sad.
My number one worst movie of the year. I went to see this movie on an IMAX laser screen in
I know
London.
this one.
The Empire, the Cineworld Leicester Square. It's a big theater. It's a really great theater. Great picture and sound quality. My number one worst movie of the year is Transformers: The Last Fucking Blood.
Oh dear God!
Oh, God.
I waste my time on this movie.
Michael Bay, you motherfucking moron, once again
Yep.
delivering another bad Transformers movie because we're dumb enough to pay money to go see it again because it's the same goddamn thing as the last fucking 4 Transformers movies. I fucking hate you, Michael Bay, you fucking motherfucking piece of shit. The movie begins in the Middle Ages.
With Transformers Dragons.
Wait, yeah, but apparently there were Transformers at the time of King Arthur, but
Right.
wasn't it the first movie where the Transformers appeared for the first time?
Yeah, the first movie they were, but
So-
then the second one they were kind of in the 40s, then they were kind of in the
That
first
Michael
movie.
Bay actually managed to forget the continuity of his own movies. That's how much he doesn't care about this. Okay,
Continuity is fuck at this point.
I was mildly into it at the beginning. I was like, okay, this could be interesting. Who knows? I didn't really know the reviews because I was on a Disney cruise and I just came back and I wanted to go see Transformers. So I went to see Transformers and I was like, okay, maybe this is good. I mean, I don't know any of the reviews, whatever. Fine. And the movie begins, stuff starts blowing up, typical Michael Bay shit. And I like 13 Hours, his last movie.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
Ugh.
The movie begins, and then you see Stanley Tucci drinking, basically just chugging a bottle of alcohol, being like, "Oh, I'm so sozzled." Oh, and just that, I was like, "Oh no, 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 no,
That's really
no,
bad.
no, 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 no." I was Shia LaBeouf. No, 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 no. And then right there, you see Stanley Tucci as Merlin, fucking Merlin. Talking to a Transformer, I was like, oh no, this movie's gonna fucking suck. Racist, offensive jokes. Anthony Hopkins saying "bitch and ride." What more is there? The ever-changing aspect ratio. It kept changing from IMAX to non-IMAX. Like every goddamn, you know, like a
How
movie.
does that happen?
You know, like a movie when it's partially shot on IMAX, like Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Sometimes it switches aspect ratios. That's fine, but like it felt like Michael Bay shot one shot of the movie in IMAX and the other non-IMAX and the other in IMAX and the other non-IMAX. It keeps changing all the goddamn
That's
time.
not a clusterfuck.
So it's like, it's really, it's a lazy movie. Michael Bay did not care.
Question.
It's the same shit.
The main villain, the Quintessa, don't she turn human?
It's my worst movie of the year. Transformers. No movie has beaten Transformers last night. I mean, you have Isabella Moner, who's like, I want to fight the Transformers. I want to fight the Transformers. And then Optimus Prime says, not Optimus Prime, one of the other Transformers says, okay, you come with us.
Yeah, the Bumblebee, right?
And then they bring Isabella Moner to the final battle, and you know what she does? She does jack shit. She just sits there and watch. But
What? That's stupid.
She keeps saying, I want to fight them. I want to fight them. And then she has the opportunity to fight them. What does she do? She does nothing. Okay. I've taken a little bit more time because I'm angry. When I talk about Michael Bay, it's just like, it's a slog. Michael Bay, you suck. Okay? You fucking suck. And I cannot wait to see Bumblebee because it is not directed by Michael Bay. So there's a glimmer of hope. Maybe.
John Cena's in the movie.
Okay.
Kill me.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, no.
Okay, so I love bad movies, you know this, but there are some pieces of shit this year that made me very angry, and I have to go through them. So my dishonorable mentions for my top 10 least favorites of 2017. The first one is one that Max or somebody mentioned. Was it you, Max? The Great Wall.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, total piece of shit. This was made by the mainland Chinese film industry. Mainland China is a horrible country. You know, people work in terrible conditions. They persecute tons of religious peoples, but they still can afford people like Matt Damon to go in their shitty movies and
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. I hate celebrities, and it's like Matt Damon is this human rights activist. Well, open your fucking eyes and take a look around from taking money from the Chinese government. I mean, it's ridiculous. And this movie was awful. I mean, it was absolutely terrible. But it made a shitload of money, and it's a horrible movie. Number
it made
two,
a shitload of money in China. It didn't make
in China, exactly. Well, that's all. I know, ridiculous.
It didn't make any money in the United States.
And then all these other movies that have to put a movie in China, which doesn't make any sense. Which is a movie I'm going to get to later, which you mentioned, Max. That makes no sense to put China in a movie, but they do it because they want to make money in China. Anyway, screw that. Number two, Transformers. Number two, King Arthur: Legend of the Sword was terrible. It was boring. It was like I was sitting there. So I used to have a friend. We were not friends anymore, thank God. But he made me watch this in 3D Ultra AVX. This ticket to watch King Arthur was $18.25.
Dude, I paid fucking $20.
$18.25, and I'm sitting there like this, like looking at my watch every 5 seconds. It was absolutely. Have you ever, you know how sometimes action movies can just be so overwhelming, so you're not bored, but you feel overwhelmed and you kind of feel tired. That's how I felt after this piece of shit. What an awful movie.
It's too
it was just awful. Now, I actually didn't hate Jude Law. I hated his character. I actually thought the performance he gave was good. It was like the best of all performances. But Eric Bana, terrible. Charlie Hunnam, terrible.
Eric Bana was barely in it, though.
Terrible. Anyway, Rough Night. The uncomedy Rough Night with Scarlett Johansson is my number 3 for dishonorable mentions. This was really bad. None of the jokes worked. She looks like Hillary Clinton, so obviously that's why she has just short hair and a power suit. And it's dumb. And it's like she's a politician who's going to go out for this night because her and her girlfriends haven't hung out. It's like, it's so stupid. And then there's a group of guys in this movie that are so freaking effeminately beta male that it's like, it's so stupid. Like they're acting like girls, which would be funny if it was funny, but it's not funny because they're just idiots. Now, I will say there were two characters that I really liked. One was Ty Burrell from Modern Family and Demi Moore. They play this really hypersexual couple. I actually thought they were funny, but
Wait, they're in the movie?
yeah, they're only in it for like 5 or 10 minutes, and they're funny together. They're really funny together, but they're only in it for 5 to 10 minutes. The rest of the time is just boring and unfunny and stupid. Number 4, one of the most disappointing sequels I think I've ever seen. Like, honestly, I was so angry with this movie. Was Kingsman 2: The Golden Circle.
What? I love that movie.
It was the first 5 minutes. I don't want to spoil anything, but they kill off a couple characters, especially at the beginning and the end. I hated it. And the way the story went. Channing Tatum is hardly in this movie. Good for him. Jeff Bridges is hardly in this movie. Good for him. Julianne Moore was terrible, and she is a great actress. Nothing about this movie made sense, and it pissed me off.
Awesome.
The end of the first one was great, and I wanted to see more and more development. But then again, they kill off a couple of these characters for absolutely no reason whatsoever, and then they went into this weird world, and it was just bad. I didn't like that movie very much. And then my very last dishonorable mention is Justice League. Justice League was a terrible mess. Expect these movies from the DCEU guys. Expect Justice League. Don't expect Wonder Woman in the future. Sorry, it's Elton John. Okay, I'll give you Elton John.
He's great.
I will give you Elton John for maybe a couple scenes, but by the end, he was tired. But Justice League is awful. Justice League is terrible. Joss Whedon, whatever. I don't think he's particularly great. I did like Avengers. I do like Firefly, but he couldn't have done anything in this thing to make this movie better. It was a mess. Okay, so those are my dishonorable mentions. Zack Snyder's terrible. He's an awful director. The Watchmen sucks. The Watchmen is one of the worst movies ever made. No, Watchmen is an awful movie. No, Mel, to my top 10 or bottom 10 least favorites of 2017. Number 10 is Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, which I also like to call Valerian and the Movie of a Thousand Snores. This was absolutely god-awfully boring. The leads had zero chemistry together, and the moment that they both opened their mouth, as Max said, I knew I was in for something, but not good, okay? Number 9 is The Circle. The Circle was a terrible movie, and what I hate about it the most, it was Bill Paxton's final role. It was his last movie. The Circle, and he was actually pretty decent in the film, but the film itself, what the hell is going on with John Boyega? That whole storyline was ridiculously dumb, and I don't really think Emma Watson is a terrific actress, but her character goes from like intern to like the point where she's like doing really important stuff in such a small amount of time. It made no sense. I didn't really get the idea that she was that important, but I guess she was. Anyway, Circle is awful, and it was a waste of a talented cast, including Patton Oswalt, who was really great. He's usually pretty good, Patton Oswalt, but yeah, absolutely. Dan is saying bad dialogue, bad script. You know, Tom Hanks, whatever. Okay.
Tom Hanks is a good actor. I didn't tell him he was good, but the movie's boring.
The movie's bad. Now, number 8 is one that nobody mentioned, and I'm surprised because this movie, I hated this movie, which was The Fate of the Furious. This movie was a piece of shit.
Oh my god, yeah.
It was absolutely awful. Charlize Theron was just horrible. Vin Diesel was terrible. They do not need to make any more Fast and the Furious movies. This has to be it. I'm so done. Like I've seen the last 3 in theaters. It's the same movie over and over again. And what I'm actually hoping is because The Rock and Vin Diesel hate each other now, that they're not going to go forward. That would be the greatest possibility this franchise needs to end. And it should have ended in the last movie when they said
the perfect send-off.
Because when they sent off to Paul Walker, that's it. We're done. Then they come out with this piece of crap. Now, I want to tell you, I've been to Cuba. If you think Cuba is anything like the first 15 minutes of this movie, you need to be shot in the head because Cuba is disgusting. It's a slum. It's horrible. It doesn't look like the stupid drag racing scene That's offensive to the people of Cuba. You should actually film Cuba the way it is, not this glamorous, beautiful, fucking place where they're doing drag races. No, people can't even. They can't afford shoes. They can't. It's disgusting. And they're great fucking people. And it's not like this extravaganza. No. And none of their cars work because they're all from the 60s because Castro's a fucking idiot. Anyway, number seven. Number 7 is one of the dumbest comedies I've seen. Chips. And that was Baywatch.
Oh, that Chips.
Baywatch was a stupid, dumb, idiotic movie with some of the most pathetic jokes, like Zac Efron staring at Alexandra Daddario's boobs, and she has to say, "Are you staring at my boobs?" I'm like, really? Like, this isn't a movie? Like, yeah, she has big boobs. Yeah, well, he's staring at them. That's like a 5-minute scene. Now, there was a character and an actor that I really liked. His name is John Bass. He plays the fat guy who ends up with the pretty blonde. He's hilarious in the movie. Every time he's on screen, I'm laughing my ass off. But the rest of everything else is really, really terrible. Yeah, absolutely, Dan. He was wasted. This guy's a comedic genius. And what he's doing in this movie is way beyond the movie. But Baywatch is awful, okay? Mm-hmm. Number six is The Mummy. The Mummy.
It was fun.
It was just a mess. It was just a mess. They were really trying to do like an American Werewolf in London ripoff. Like, did you get Jake Johnson's character dies and then comes back to do all these things? And I'm like, this is exactly from American Werewolf in London. Like, that's his character. It was absolutely awful. And Russell Crowe was terrible. Russell Crowe as whatever the hell Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was absolutely stupid. And I love Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but his Mr. Hyde was ridiculously dumb. And Tom Cruise was snoring through the whole thing. I don't know what the hell was going on. Sophia Boutella, who's amazing, needs to fire her agent. This was it was awful. Yeah, money,
she's
of course.
Mommy. She's doing good part.
But she is way better. She's way better than this. And she's also way better than Star Trek Beyond. Number 5, the dumbest pile of crap I think I've seen. The dumbest story, the dumbest acting, the dumbest everything, Geostorm. Geostorm is such a stupid piece of shit. Dude, again, they have Chinese characters to sell the stupid thing in China that don't need to be there. They have nothing to do with the plot. The two brothers, Jim Sturgis and Gerard Butler, they don't look the same. They don't talk the same. Sturgis is in a New York accent. Gerard Butler cannot do an American accent. It's awful. And then there's things that happen, for example, in the second act. There's a couple things that happen to sort of launch the story forward that are literally the dumbest things I've ever seen. I mean, it was just terrible. So stupid ass movie.
Don't Geostorm have sound to get caught by a hacker? Someone hacked the Geostorm and makes it go.
Yeah, that's not what's stupid, but that's part of it. And you can tell who it is a mile away. The first time you're introduced to the person who actually does the hacking, I'm like, oh, it's that fucking asshole right there. It's so stupid. Anyway, number 4 is the Netflix original.
Oh god, I know this is Death Note, isn't it?
It's Sandy Wexler starring Adam Sandler. I don't know if you guys got the opportunity to watch Sandy Wexler.
Nope.
But Sandy Wexler is pretty awful. Adam Sandler is doing an accent in this thing, and it is so annoying and so bad. It's just, I'm Sandy Wexler. I'm an old Jewish manager. Like, it's awful. And he brings out a lot of famous people for this, including Penn Jillette and David Spade and a lot of famous people. Obviously money, but man, is it bad. Anyway, not funny either. And they make all these references to the 90s. They're like, I bought stock in Blockbuster. I'm going to be rich. And I'm like, that's just terrible. It's just awful. It's so bad. Anyway.
That's stupid.
Number 3 is another Netflix original, Death Note. I fucking hated Death Note. Death Note was a piece of shit. It was incoherent. That guy, Nate Wolff, who's the lead actor, is so bad, screaming like it was awful. And I do I do like Margaret Qualley, I think her name is, who was Andy McDowell's daughter. I thought she was really great in The Nice Guys, and she's been in some TV stuff. I think she was in Bates Motel. She's normally actually really great. In this movie, she was like, at this thing, she was terrible. And I do like Willem Dafoe, but that whole CGI God of Death, whatever the hell he was supposed to be, was awful.
That's who you.
It was absolutely awful. Anyway, number two is the single worst Lifetime movie that I've seen, which should have been a Lifetime movie, but it got a watch release. It's called Unforgettable.
Yes.
And Unforgettable is fucking horrible. Katherine Heigl, and this is so probably, I would say, the worst performance of the year. Like, Gerard Butler is shit in Geostorm. You know, Tom Cruise is terrible in The Mummy. You know, The Rock is terrible in Baywatch. Whatever. Vin Diesel's awful in in Fate of the Furious. But Katherine Heigl is so bad. But there is kind of an element of fun because she's so over the top. You know exactly what's going to happen to her character. Okay? But what got me, and this has nothing to do with the movie, and I don't know why this got to me, but there's a scene where Katherine Heigl's ex-husband, and I think it's either her, Katherine Heigl, or Rosario Dawson are sitting on a sofa, and they're talking, they're having some shitty dialogue, right? But in the foreground, and I don't know why this got to me, is a chessboard, but the chess pieces are made out of salt and pepper shakers. It's called a salt and pepper shaker chessboard. I have no idea, guys. I saw this thing. I thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in a movie, and I literally flipped out. Like, to me, I don't know what it was. I couldn't stop fixating on that salt and pepper shaker chessboard. Anyway, I fucking hated this movie. It's terrible. But I will buy it on DVD because it's hilarious. Now, the number one least favorite movie. Not a terrible movie necessarily, but one that really let me down hard, okay? I anticipated this movie. I wanted to see this movie. It was in my top 10 most anticipated of the year, and it's Downsizing with Matt Damon.
Wow.
Downsizing was a bad movie. It was stupid. It didn't make any sense. There's an entire chunk of the film, I would say, just before the end. I don't want to spoil anything, but the main characters go somewhere. It was awful. It didn't, and then nothing happens. Like, the ending is awful. It's just awful. Like, they're building up to something. It's nothing. And the writing in this movie is terrible. So this is why I don't like the movie. Alexander Payne is a great director. I love Sideways. Okay, I love Election. Now, I haven't seen The Descendants, and I haven't seen Nebraska.
It's great.
I've heard. Okay, but this is what he did. You can tell Alexander Payne. This is what he did. He had this concept, but he did not have a fully actualized screenplay. So all he had was this amazing concept, and so he got the money. However, he needed to finish the script, and you can tell halfway through this movie, it just peters out into nothing. Now, he would not have gotten $68 million to shoot this movie had he not been Alexander Payne, because he definitely did not have a full screenplay. And that pisses me off, because you should never, ever, ever sell a screenplay or give someone money that doesn't have a fully realized and actual screenplay of a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay? This thing had a great concept. It was an interesting concept that was along for the ride, and there's a tone shift, okay, right in the middle of the film, and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They had no idea where this thing was going. If they had a few more months, or even if they waited for another year,
or 2 years,
so they could sit down so they could write the actual last half, I think this would have been a great movie. But I am so goddamn disappointed that the studios rushed ahead. $68 million, and it's bombing. It hasn't even made $10 million at the box office, And in my opinion, good, because you have to greenlight movies that have a full actualized screenplay.
Get good
That's all
movies,
I'm
not
gonna
bad movies.
And that's
All right.
it. And I hated it. It's a terrible fucking movie, and the last half is absolutely dreadful.
All right, I
I'll
disagree
find-
with you on The Mummy. I agree with you on something,
Well, Mummy's awful.
but I liked it. To be honest, I liked it. I thought it wasn't great, but there's some things that I really liked. Like, the action scenes were great. They were really fun to watch. All right.
All
All
right.
right. So, Dan, skip out.
Anyways.
Why don't you go ahead?
All right. Well, I'm gonna kind of do this in a very unusual way. All right. What I'm gonna do here, Max and Mark and Tavia and what's the other guy's name?
Josh.
Josh.
Oh, you said Josh.
What I'm gonna do is,
Oh no, it's Sean. Shit.
all right, I'm gonna do this instead of a top 10 worst. I'm gonna do this by months. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the month of January. Here you go, guys.
Oh, boy.
Here's the month of January for you of shit boxes. Resident Evil, the final chapter. Triple X, The Bye Bye Man, and Underworld
Fuck.
Blood Wars. That's the month of January. That, guess who unfortunately had to see all those shit boxes?
You.
Me. Those four pieces of garbage. Why do you think they call the month of January the toilet bowl movie season? Because it really
Just jump
is
up.
a toilet bowl. It really is a toilet bowl. No, Max, Triple X was not fun. You can't ride a motorcycle underwater. That's
Underwater? Are you kidding me?
yes.
Is that
That's
a joke?
what he did. He rode a motorcycle underwater. I mean, it's stupid. It's dumb.
What the
All
fuck?
those are garbage. Why do they make sequels? Why do they make these damn sequels that are just pieces of crap that nobody wants to see? In January, it's my favorite month of the year. It's my birthday month. But then they put these crappy movies in there. Oh, this sucks. All right, so now we're done with January. All right. Let's go to the month of February.
My birthday month.
Oh, God. Stephen Billings already mentioned one of these shit boxes from February. Fist Fight. Then we also got a film. Who wanted one of these? Who needed another one of these? Rings.
Oh yeah, that did come out. I completely forgot.
And we are getting a third one of these, guys. So
What?
be prepared.
Wait, you're joking, right?
Shades
We thought you were
Darker.
joking.
50 Shades Darker. 50
Fuck.
Shades Gray. 50 Shades Gray or whatever the hell it's called. We've got the trailer. We know it's coming out in the second week. Comes out
Kill me,
Valentine's Day.
please.
Every year, Valentine's Day, every year. Rings was so bad. I mean, 50 Shades Darker is garbage. I mean, what? February and January. But you know what the crazy part is? And I don't want to talk about good films. We've got one great film in January and one great film in February last year. We got Split and Get Out.
Yep. Two great
And we're
movies.
gonna get the same thing this year. Because we're getting Black Panther in February.
Yeah.
But we won't know what the great film in January is until we go through the month of January. There will be one. But how do you go an entire month of shit boxes and then another month of shit boxes? You only have one film each month that's worth the crap. February's had one film for the last 3 years worth of crap. Last year, it was Deadpool. The year before that, it was The Kingsman. And this
Wow,
past
Logan.
Get Out. So it was Get Out, Deadpool, and Kingsman the last 3 years in February. And now we're starting to put good films in January. Split. Someone's going to try to put their movie in there to find some ground because all these other
I'm gonna get Mr. Glass.
Oh, when is that coming?
I have no
Not
idea.
January. I want to go. Mark mentioned a couple Netflix movies. I want to go to a couple Netflix movies that I couldn't stand. Did anybody see this movie called Double X?
Nope, never heard of it.
No.
Oh God, this is really bad. Then there was another one.
It's Dwight.
It's called oh God, what the hell is the name of this?
Right.
I couldn't write my name. I couldn't write mine down, guys. That's why I'm kind of scrolling down my list of films that I saw, so I can figure out which films that are the worst films that I saw this year. But I can't seem to find that film that I saw. It was a Netflix film, but I can't.
Which one? Is it Bright?
Oh no, Bright is bad, but it's not this bad.
Yeah. Which until we get to my top 10 list, which I'm going to speed it up.
Yeah, I can't seem to find it, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought I'd be able to find this film on my list here, but
if you can't find it, that's fine. You can probably skip it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. All right. So now I'm going to talk about who's a fan of Will Ferrell. Anybody in the room a fan of Will Ferrell?
Yes.
I am.
Danny's home too.
Because guess what, guys?
Anchorman.
Danny's home too.
I'm not a fan of Will Ferrell anymore. You know, he does the same shtick over and over and over. And to be honest, guys, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of his shtick. And The House with him and Amy
The House, yes.
Him and Amy Poehler. I mean, God almighty. This movie was so bad. I just don't get it. I don't get where these guys are going with this junk. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know why he thinks he can keep doing the same thing over and over, and that people are gonna eventually like say, "Oh, I think it's great. I think Will Ferrell has made a turning point in his career. He's gotten better again." No, he hasn't. He's getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and his choices are worse and worse and worse and worse.
But it's sad because he's a good comedian.
All right, and this is okay, guys. This one right here. Okay, anybody seen Girls Trip? Anybody seen Girls Trip this year?
I ain't waste my time with that train wreck.
Thumbs up or something if you saw Girls.
No, we did not see. I did not see it.
I ain't waste my time.
I didn't see it.
Well, Girls Trip is 100 times better than Rough Night. Rough Night with
oh dear God.
Kate McKinnon plays an Australian woman, which we know she's not Australian. She's playing this Australian accent or whatever. I mean, every time you think the movie's headed this one way, it has this stupid subplot that goes this other direction, and it's all these girls going. It's like a bad version of the Bridesmaids. It's like the worst possible version of Bridesmaids you could possibly think of, because this woman's gonna get married, and they all go to Miami, and there's a dead hooker involved. Like, we didn't know there was going to be a dead hooker involved. Just ridiculous. Another movie that came out this summer that I was really disappointed with, because the director is a director that I really like, and his name is Colin Trevorrow. And Colin Trevorrow made a movie this summer that, to be honest with you, really didn't even make sense when you really think about it. That the ending of the movie was so ridiculous. How these kids and their mother were going to try to figure out how this guy supposedly beat up his daughter, and then
what? Are you fucking kidding me? That's not funny. That's stupid.
I know, but it's so bad. It's stupid. They were trying to make pull at your heartstrings with this movie, and it's got a great It's got great actors. It's got the guy from Breaking Bad. It's got one of the guys from Breaking Bad, Dean Norris. It's got Naomi Watts. It's got Jacob Tremblay. It's got, and the thing is, I don't believe any of this could possibly happen. I didn't believe this guy was beating his daughter. They don't give us enough in this film to believe that this guy was doing what he was doing, and that these guys are going to figure it out, go in his backyard. I mean, it's just some stupid contrivances to make us believe the plot of this film. And I feel bad because Colin Trevorrow probably lost the next Star Wars movie because of Book of Henry.
Yep.
And and of course, Mark and Stephen and Mark both mentioned The Circle. Oh my God! I mean, what more can you say of how bad that film is? Mark's gone, so I'm safe to say Alien Covenant was awful. I absolutely hated Alien Covenant. You know what I mean? But I have a tie at number one. I have a tie at number one. And Mark said Baywatch. Well, I'm gonna do him one better. My tie at number one. I don't have a number two. I have a tie at number one, and that's Chips and Baywatch are tied for
dear God,
worst movie of the year because these are two nostalgic TV shows from the 80s and 90s that they should never have made movies of these. Why they're taking these TV shows and turning them into movies, I have no idea. But
I think I know why. I think it's because they're set at 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, they want to try to make another 21 Jump Street. You're absolutely right. And the Indian company is the one that did Baywatch. They own the rights to Baywatch, and they made a movie. And they wanted to put Priyanka Chopra in there because she's like this supermodel in India or some crap. And then Dax Shepard, please, if you just do one thing, just direct or star or write. Don't do all three because every time Dax Shepard tries to do three things, it turns out to be a piece of garbage. And Chips was a piece of garbage. And I love Chips, the TV show. A lot of people, you guys are pretty young, so you probably don't remember Chips, the TV show.
I wasn't born when Chips going on. I was born in the 90s.
I love that show. It had Michael Dorn from Star Trek The Next Generation. But yeah, I had Chips and Baywatch is my number one worst movie of the year. A tie. But
All right. Thank you very much, Dan. It is getting very late. So Tevya, can you please run your list very quickly?
Yeah, I can try. All right. Before I get my top 10, what we're trying to do, I have just honorable mentions. One of them is a movie that's very controversial, I know, and I'm a Star Wars fan because it's for me. And what just all my Star Wars about Jedi, which we already talked about, which you may know my thoughts on that movie. I found it disappointing. It's not bad, it's okay. Next man, Blight. Even though I hated this movie, it was Don't Get It with Will Smith and I could play the Orc, and that's it. Justice League, we talked about. Lady King Arthur, disappointing. Fist Fight, meh. It sucked. We don't say Circle, bad. Pirates of the Caribbean, Devon, I saw a plane. And I can't finish it because, well, it's a quarrel. Resident Evil 5 chapter. No matter to say. Him and Bodyguard. This movie is so stupid. It was a live action cartoon. I'm not kidding. And I like going on notes. And I like video shit. Number one. And the Mummy. Okay. Number 10? Yeah, number 10. Number 10, Underworld Blood Wars. Alright, as you went on with your Underworld fan, I love 1, 2, and 3. 4 pissed me off. I thought it would be good. But 5, this movie just pissed me off. It just made me mad. Like, what the fuck was this crap? They killed Michael with more bullshit. They basically suing kind of you and.
Oh yeah, I remember they kill off Michael just like that.
Yeah, that pissed me off. I was not happy with that. That made me mad. Like I would not be like off screen with bullshit, and they make the fourth movie very pointless. Wasn't the fourth movie about the She-Man finding out the werewolves and vampires? I guess before that plot went out the window. Plus the ending. what the point of the ending again? They become king, and no, they're going to rule the covenant now, and I just don't care anymore. I just find this need to die. All right, next, number 9, Wish Upon. One of the stupid horror movie I've seen in my life. Like, Max, what'd you wish for? Max? No.
Hello. I wish for this movie not to exist.
Okay, wish granted. 5 minutes later. There's a movie at the end of the that's how stupid it is. You make a wish, everyone dies.
Yeah.
But here's the stupid thing about the movie. She's a complete idiot. When the way you find out when someone dies, you don't make another wish. But then she keeps making wishes, and it gets worse and worse, and then everyone keeps dying. Then at the ending happens, and hit the ending. It's just a reset button.
Yeah.
What? Are you fucking kidding me? You're telling me that's already death. There's no, and here we said there's no consequences. Oh, there's a consequence. She dies at the end.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Oh, I don't care anymore. Like, it's so stupid. It's been like you did a bad horror movie. It's a bad comedy as well. It's just stupid. Anyways, I gotta speak this up. Anyway, number 8 is Chips. One of the stupidest comedy I've seen in my life. You have a show naked guy. Which, what the fuck was that? I don't get it. Yeah. And didn't really know what to say about the movie. It's just bad, stupid. Alright, number 7 is Alien Covenant. Ridley Scott, you're a good director. Stop making bad movies. And David the Crazy Xenomorphs. Bull fucking shit. But the guy are the engineers. Any opinion? John? Any opinion? Any comment?
I love the Alien Covenant. I love that movie.
What about David created the Xenomorphs?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
I tend to disagree.
I love the movie. It's one of Ridley Scott's best movies. Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, point. Yeah, David Crane's Xenomorph because the character of the engineer pissed me off. The ending was garbage, and I don't care. This find it needs to die at this point. Anyways, number 6 is The Bible-Man. One of the horror movies I've seen all year. I hate this movie. It's a January movie. What I expect, and it just sucked. But the ending was stupid. But it's sequel baits. Why bring the sequel bait? Who wants to see The Bible-Man? Nobody.
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah, it's just stupid. Anyways.
Okay.
Number 5, Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, yeah, Ghost in the Shell. That was bad.
Yeah, I was disappointed because I hate the anime movie. The anime movie it's so boring, but this made the anime movie much better. And this movie boring as well. How do you screw this up? Oh, anyways. Point is, Ghost in the Shell is bad, but it's not that horrible. Anyways. Number 4, The Babysitter. A Netflix original movie by McG. Fuck. And guess what happens? Stupid. I just came out in Halloween. Like next to Jigsaw. Yay. As oh Sean.
Oh.
Alright. Weird. Okay.
Anyway, that's number 4. Number 3 is Death Note. As a fan of anime, it's movie was garbage. I hate the movie. The movie sucked. It ruined the end. It ruined Bitty Light. It ruined L. It ruined Shimigami. And actually, Ryuk was the only thing I liked going to for a perfect Ryuk. He was great. But everything else, the movie sucked. They ruined Light. They ruined L. They ruined Bitty Mika. This movie sucked. I hate the movie burnt. And we don't get a sequel. Fuck this movie. The movie's horrible, and the anime, it's garbage. Yeah. Anyways. Number 2 is The Dark Tower.
Oh, The Dark Tower.
One of the worst movies I saw all year.
Okay.
Wait.
Number 1.
this movie, it ruined Dark Tower, it ruined Big Authority, it crammed to cram 3 books in 1 movie, doesn't work, and it's stupid.
Okay, number 1.
Anyways, number 1 is the controversial movie, which is Mother.
Mother.
I hate this movie. This movie made no sense. The third act was garbage.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I won't. But to say it's a fantasy of actually, think about it. I really hate this movie. I want to hate this movie. I think it was stupid garbage. I hate it, and just it doesn't make any sense. That's all I'm saying. Number 1 made a good performance, but everything else, I don't give a damn. It sucked.
All right.
That's
All
my
right.
opinion.
All right. Thank you
Thank you
very
very much, Tevya. All right, finally. I'm really freaking tired, so let's go,
Yeah.
Sean. Give us
Yeah.
your list for the worst movies of the year.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna go. See you guys.
All right, goodbye. All right, and then there were 2.
Yeah. So I didn't watch a lot of bad movies, so I wrote 2 movies that I didn't watch, but I'm gonna just say 8. This one, it's funny that no one is here, but Kong Skull Island.
Which one?
I didn't like Kong Skull Island.
You did what?
No, like it was good at the beginning, but it was so cliche, typical like action Hollywood film. Like it's just I had expectations with Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, and Samuel L. Jackson, and it was just cliche. Like Brie Larson like has a relationship with King Kong, and they try to protect him, and it's just a cliche Hollywood movie that I just didn't like at all. And
Okay.
yeah, another one. It won Best Picture, Moonlight.
Well, that came out last year.
Well,
Yeah.
they said it came out in 2017.
Well, I mean, if it won Best Picture, it came out last year.
Yeah, okay, so never mind. Pirates of the Caribbean. Thank God I didn't pay to watch that movie. It looked like all of the same ones, the old ones. They just did it for the money. Like people that like the movie is like they're big fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, and they just want to see Captain Jack Sparrow like just all the time doing the same bullshit that he does in every single movie. And I knew it was coming. That spoiler alerts. Captain Barbosa is the father of the girl in the movie.
That was dumb. That was really dumb.
Yeah. And I just don't get why it's the 5th one. It should have been the 4th. The fountain one shouldn't exist. And I don't get why they should do another one. It's useless. But they have to because they finish it with Dave Jones, and I didn't like it at all. Also another one, Boo 2 A Medea Halloween.
Oh, you fucking watched that one.
I watched some parts online. You just see FouseyTube and these Instagram comedians, and you know it sucks. Tyler Perry doesn't make great movies. Saw the first one, was terrible. And it's not because you put social media stars in your movie that it's good. So yeah, I saw some parts and I just couldn't watch it. Another one that I saw, Transformers: The Last Night. When I was a kid, I liked the Transformers, but I only liked the first and the third. And just this one was, I didn't understand why they did that. There's a scene you could see like the green screens on the computer screen. Like Michael Bay doesn't give a shit about like the content he's putting on the film. He just does it for the money, and it's just CGI porn and explosive shit all in the movie. It's just ridiculous. Like I just didn't like it, and yeah, it was just nonsense, and I had a headache after watching that movie. also, another bad movie was Justice League.
The best. That was the best one.
Terrible movie. Cringed the entire time. When Aquaman's like in the water, you could see that he's in a pool, and the background is just a green screen because you don't see the water in the back moving, but you see the water around him like moving like in a pool. So that part I cringed. It's serious the entire time, and right at the end you see Cyborg and Superman like, "My man, oh my toe hurts," like trying to be like MCU, but it's cringe worthy. And the family, I don't get why they put that family. It's just, why are they a part of the movie? They really made sexual jokes against Gal Gadot. You see a lot of ass shots. Superman's mustache CGI removal was also cringe-worthy. The Flash ran like an autistic moron, in my opinion. Like, I just didn't like Justice League, and yeah, and worst movie, didn't have to see it. I saw the what's this YouTube series called, Movie Sins. I watched the Emoji Movie Sins, and it really is just product placements all the time. Just Dance, Spotify, what else? Candy Crush, Facebook, YouTube. I think there's Glozell in this movie, I think. And it's just a typical shitty animated movie, and you don't even have to watch it to know that it sucks. I just, when they announced that they were doing the Emoji Movie, just emoji and movie together is trash. It's horrible. I don't have to see this to know that it sucks. And I'm still surprised that Emoji Movie has 9% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the one movie with Morgan Freeman has like less than the Emoji Movie. I think 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. So that was the worst movies in my opinion. So yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. And that about does it for our show this week. It is freaking late. We started at like 10:30, and now it's 11:16. Was it probably like 4 hours long? Thank you very much, Tanya, for making this show a little longer than expected. Join us next week, where we will do a 2018 movie preview like I do every year. So if you want to join that, just message me on Facebook. Okay? Bye-bye.